Right. Those who are joining online, can you hear me? Yes, those who joined online.
Yes, sir.
Right. So, as I discussed last week, now your course outline has 12 main topics, right? So last week we discussed activity-based costing. The second topic, then the third topic, strategic cost management and value creation, right? So that is what we are going to discuss today. The broadly strategic cost management, when we discuss that, value creation part also embedded there. That is for 10 marks, 10% of weight, right? So I'll be initially covering this 10% main components, right? We can take them independently. Right. So today's discussion about strategic cost management, strategic cost management, right? Strategic cost management. Wait 5 minutes, right? So a few more students to go in. Right. 5 minutes.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you able to adjust the camera? It's focusing the roof.
Now, can you see the screen?
Little bit to the left hand side of yours, sir. Yes, sir. Now fine.
Okay. Right. I think okay, we can start now. Strategic cost management, right? Strategic cost management. That is our second topic. So here you see the basic areas that we are going to discuss in this topic. So we'll discuss with start with the limitation of traditional cost management. Traditional cost management versus strategic cost management. We are going to discuss. So first we focus on what is traditional cost management and what are the limitations of traditional cost management. Then when we are moving to the strategic cost management, you should be familiarized with these mission objectives. These things you have already studied in other subjects. Then strategic cost management, we will discuss under three main components. Strategic cost management, we are going to cover in three main components. Strategic positioning, strategic positioning, no strategic positioning analysis, you can call it. Cost drive analysis and value chain analysis. So we will discuss about the strategic positioning, what is meant by strategic positioning analysis and cost drive analysis. Then we have value chain analysis. The value chain analysis, you have the subcategory, right? So this that is a very broad area. This strategic cost management. This part itself, we can have something like major costs, right? So in this particular subject, we are not going to discuss all these things in very detail, right? So this is a kind of the broad area of this strategic cost management. There are the strategic positioning analysis, cost drive analysis, and value chain analysis we are going to discuss. Here you find the value chain analysis. Again, we can take it to strategic framework for value chain analysis and value chain approaches, assessing the competitive advantages. And under that also we have several parts, right? We will just brief on this. Because we are taking only this particular lecture, right? Cover this topic. So normally, so I discussed this in master levels, several lectures for this particular diagram content, right? Okay, but at undergraduate level and advanced management accounting subject, you need to get a understanding of what is meant by strategic cost management and what are the main components of strategic cost management, main tools used there, right? Those areas we are going to discuss. We'll start with the traditional cost management, right? Traditional cost management. Basically, traditionally, we had three branches of accounting: financial accounting, cost accounting, and management accounting. So traditionally, that providing cost information for management decision making, avoiding the cost accounting, right? So that traditional cost management system involve allocation of cost and overhead to the production and focuses largely on cost control and cost reduction. So this is what, if you take the traditional cost accounting branch out, right? So that traditionally we had three branches: cost accounting, financial accounting, cost accounting, management accounting. Then the cost accounting information also focus on providing information for the management. So that traditional cost management part, the main focus on allocation of cost and overhead to the production, and largely focus on cost control and cost reduction. So even this course last week, what we discussed, activity-based costing, with that traditional overhead absorption. That is come under traditional cost management, those the original part, right? Allocating the cost to cost object. And largely focus on controlling the cost and reducing the cost. So the underlying assumption was with the reduced direct cost and overhead cost, firm can earn better profit. Right? That is to a certain extent true. When you reduce the cost, direct cost and overhead cost, you will be able to increase the profit. So it involves comparing actual with the standard, budgeted and the standard costing, and analyze the differences. That process is known as variance analysis. So some of the topics that we are covering in this particular course unit also relates to this traditional cost management, like cost absorption. Then we will discuss the budgeting and variance analysis. Right? Budgetary control, variance analysis, the standard costing. Those topics cover this traditional cost management aspect. So there are some limitations in the traditional cost management. I start with the that slide, short term out. My focus is short term traditional cost management. Short term. And it is internal focus. So it ignores the competition, market growth, customer requirement, right? You are focusing on internal business processes, right? Cost reduction perspective. So external factors are not much taken into consideration. So it focus excessive focus on cost reduction. Cost reduction is important for a business, but the traditional cost management mainly focus on cost reduction, excessive focus on cost reduction. So it ignores the dynamics of marketing and economics. When it comes to the actual business profit and value creation, the economics condition of the country or the industry, right? Outside factors and organization marketing plays very important role. So those aspects were not taken into consideration in the traditional cost management. So limited focus on review and improvisation, because basically you have set targets and you are trying to achieve those targets. If those targets are, whether those targets are achieved or not, you take the variance analysis and take the actions. But when it comes to strategic cost management, you focus mainly those external factors, like business strategy perspective factors. Those are not very much focused in traditional cost management, and it's very much reactive approach. When you take the variance analysis, what we do, we have the forecasted, budgeted, the standard value, and actual value. You compare actual with the forecasted, the standard, and if there's a difference, that's a variation. Okay. So that you identify it after it happened. Various analysis එක වෙන්නේ හැම වෙලේම reactive approach, right? Reactive. But the actual, you have the planned and actual. Once actual occurred, then you make the comparison and identify the base. Right? So the traditional cost management is, we don't say that traditional cost management is not important. Traditional cost management also important. That is why still it is using. Still you are learning it. But there are more advanced, more developed perspective of this cost management. That is what we are going to discuss here. under strategic cost management. So we are using some traditional cost management techniques like overhead absorption, right, and budgeting and standard costing, variance analysis, those tools and techniques. But we should know these traditional cost management techniques are having these limitations. So to overcome these limitations, we are using this strategic cost management. So the limitation, traditional cost management focus is on cost control and cost reduction. The broad cost reduction doesn't work effectively in today's business environment, because now when you are overemphasis on cost control, what would be the adverse consequence of that? Cost එක අඩු කරන්නම අපි focus කරොත් additional perspective එකකින් ඒකේ එන්න පුළුවන් adverse impact එක quality, right? You may reducing the cost by compromising the quality. That will affect to the customer satisfaction, right? And in the modern marketing concept, what is important, what is valued by the customer? Customer value something, right? Your product should have the quality, the features which valued by the customer. And that the customer value can be created by the market. This is practically ගත්තොත් එහෙම. You first create a need, right? The customer using your marketing strategy. Then there is such a bond create within the customers. So then they request, then you provide that product to the market. Right? හැම වෙලෙම ඒක externally customers ළම හිතලා ඒගොල්ලෝ ඉල්ලන දේම නෙමෙයි මාකට් එක දෙන්නේ. හැබැයි අපි strategically need එක create කරනවා. Create කරලා එහෙ කියන demand එකට අපි අනිත් පැත්තට අප්ලයි. ඒතර cost reduction වගේ එකට ගියාම ඔය perspective අපිට මිස් වෙනවා. Right? We are focusing on the cost reduction or cost reduction. So may not be applicable for most of the products nowadays. Traditional cost management system has internal focus, does not look into external factors, competition, market growth, customer requirement, those aspects, right? So external factors, especially competition, market growth and customer requirement to take into consideration. Then the broad-based cost reduction leads to inferior quality of the product and service, which might drive away customer, resulting lower sales and profitability. So that is obvious, right? Using sometimes, especially during this high inflation situation, some businesses try to reduce the cost, right, without making adjustment to the prices. But those products generally refused by the customers in the long run, right? You may rather increase the price, right? That will affect to the demand. But by keep the same price with low quality, right? So most of the product or service that may not be the case, right? Customers will refuse. So you may reduce the sales and reduce the profit. Traditional cost accounting system rely on accounting data which can be misleading at a time, right? When you take the accounting data, that is basically internally generated. Or, right? Traditional cost management take all these internal information. But when you take external factors, that cannot be modified, right? You take some external outside factors, right? That is created by the market. But when you are taking the internal factors, internal information, so that possibility of manipulating them may be high. And there is a limited focus on review and improvisation of existing process and activity. Traditionally, you set the target and you try to achieve the target. If you are achieving the target, that's it. Right? If there is no much adverse variance, right? So firm, you are happy. You say it's favorable. Even variance analysis, when the actual cost is less than, have you studied variance in some other subjects? You exception batch, you have some exposure to these subjects, right? You know variance analysis. So when you make a variance analysis, okay, material usage variance, material cost variance, labor cost variance, right? Labor rate variance, all these you take variance as favorable when the cost is reduced, when the price is lower, labor hour is lower, material quantity lower, right? So ignore the quality part, right? And so if it is less, you take it as favorable. You won't consider about improvements. Right? If all variances are favorable, that's it. That means your actual is above the expected level. So even there under standard costing, actual and variance standard, you make the comparison and take the action once it is occurred. Right? Reactive on the material budget January මාසේ budget material cost එක 1 million කියලා අපිට 1.2 million වියදම් වෙලා තියෙනවා, right? There is a 200,000 adverse variance. Thereafter only you take the action. That is traditional cost management. You first compare the actual with the standard one, right? Budgeted one, then take the action. So reactive. And the short term means cost saving on annual basis, right? A periodical තමයි බලන්නේ, right? Objectives තියෙන short run objective. Maybe even at the cost over the long run. Then we are moving to the next. This is called strategic cost management. In modern business environment, it is not sufficient to control cost. The business must focus on manage cost strategically. Right? Now, it's very important to understand this term. Manage cost strategically. Right? We should take some practical example to understand this one. So the strategic cost management is the application of cost management techniques so that they improve the strategic position of the business as well as control cost. So we don't ignore the cost control. Right? Cost control එක වැරදි කියලා දැන්. Right? You have to control the cost. Even modern management accounting techniques, there are a lot of tools that we used in cost control, right? But importantly here, that improve the strategic positioning of the business. Business strategic positioning improve in the gamma. තමයි cost reduction again focus කරන්නේ. It's involved integrating cost information with the decision-making framework to support the overall organization strategy. Right? The traditional cost management basically small part. You take the product cost, then you try to reduce the cost of that particular product. Then you try to increase the profit of that particular product. Sometimes when you are reducing that, when you are increasing the profit of that product, that might adversely affect to some of your organizations and other products. So overall, you may be losing, right? There may be strategies හරියට වැදගත් වෙනවා business එක. Where do you position the product? So ආගේ strategic positioning එක improve වෙනවා. One example is now take this automobile industry. Toyota and Honda, key competitors in the automobile industry. So Toyota bids size car, right, which had a globally good demand. Honda want to come with the product. Honda, they had the Honda Fit, the older version, which was not very competitive with the previous Fit. So the Honda came in very improved version of the hybrid Honda Fit, right? The focus was to compete with the Fits. So they improved a lot of features, right? More advanced features to Honda Fit. Then what happened? Now, Toyota, we have the Corolla range and Honda had the Civic. So then the customers were mainly, normally there are some brand loyalties, the people go for the brand. The people who refer Honda, they have Honda Civic and Honda Fit. They thought the features given in the Honda Fit, comparing the value, which was more attractive than the Civic. So that Honda Fit become very value for money vehicle. So customers shifted from Civic to Fit, not from Fits to Fit. So the Honda Fit were able to generate worldwide huge sales that reduced the demand for Civic. Their brand, the higher vehicle, higher position vehicle, right? Because they were unable to position that. Because they positioned the Honda Fit within the same segment, same market who look for Honda Fit, right? So then they consider, okay, when you compare Honda Civic and Honda Fit, right? So they compare, this is a earlier generation, somewhere in 2015 around, right? So that customers compare it. When you compare the price difference and value for money, the features, the Fit is the Fit hybrid, right? Giving more value. So some problem in not the strategic cost management, but this positioning problem, right? They were unable to position it. The strategic positioning is very, very important, right? You don't know that you fail as a product. Some leading products sometimes fail in market because you are unable to position your product in the customer. The strategic positioning is very important for any business, any product, right? Now, for another example, Srilankan example, number of years back, in early 2000, you believe, new ice cream brand came to Sri Lanka, right? Even earlier, late 19, I cannot remember exactly. Somewhere late 19, early 2000, yeah. Bold ice cream, right? Bold. prior to that, the Sri Lankan culture, ice cream, Sri Lankan people used to buy ice cream, normally these small ice cream forms, right? And we have this small ice packets, right? So 1 rupee, 2 rupee at that time. And if you are paying large value, practically say 100 rupee for ice cream, that is the 1 liter ice cream, right? You consume as a family product, right? And we had the elephant house, right? Main ice cream. So, Ball's ice cream, they came up with a lot of ranges, right? But that price with so many tastes, but for individual, it cost around 60, 70 rupees, right? At that time. Where that ice cream was positioned as a product consumed as a family. If you spend that 100 rupees, you can have 1 liter, right? Now the story is different, right? Now the customer behavior and positioning change. So this is I'm referring to somewhere is early 2000, late 90s, right? So that Waltz was a well-established brand globally, right? They had a huge advertising campaign and launched the product. Failed, right? Because the positioning was strong, right? You position that they had, if they position it as a family product, right? So you can, if they come up with a package that you can buy something for the family, right? Even for 200 rupees at that time, people try to consume it, but they focus the individual customer, right? Where you get a normalized street cone, right? You can have at that time around 5 rupees, 10 rupees, right? Where this Waltz company coming in for 60, 70 rupees, right? That is the positioning wrong. So they fail. And finally, the Cargill took over the company, right? They sell the factory and leave the country. So Cargill took that ice cream factory. That was came under the Cargill's Magic, right? Cargill's Magic brand came that was, right? You can so that even the logo, right? Cargill's Magic, you have this kind of shape. So it was very similar to this walls, right? They can't use the same brand, but logo is very, very similar. So this positioning. So if you position a product in a way that the customer feels some value, right? Strategically, if you position the product, you will be able to create a very good demand, right? Very good demand for a product, and you may be able to continue in the market for a long period, right? So if you take this now, another example now, Coca-Cola, how they position their product? What is the positioning of Coca-Cola? Do they position the taste? See the Coca-Cola advertisement. They never position, they never talk about the taste. Taste of Coca. The Coca-Cola එක කවදාවත් ad එකක් දාන්නේ නැහැ. Taste එක. Right? මොකද ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ positioning එක. They position with the feeling. Right? Feelings ඒගොල්ලෝ right? You take this Coca-Cola advertisement, right? For a family function, so the have a dinner, right? So you need Coca-Cola, right? It's a kind of feeling, right? Get together, you need Coca-Cola, right? So that is the positioning. It was very successful, right? Initially, when Pepsi came to the market, right? The Coca-Cola was very old company. Pepsi Cola came later. So at the initial era of the Pepsi Cola, when Pepsi Cola was very small company, Coca-Cola had the opportunity to take over the Pepsi. They ignored it. Right? That is a very kind of bad management decision, right? Wrong management decision. If they had acquired the Pepsi, they could have competitively grow the both brand, and they own the both by now. In some countries, the Pepsi Cola leading the market over the both, right? Two brands, global brand Coca-Cola and the Pepsi Cola. In certain countries, the highest market share Coca-Cola. Certain countries, highest market share Pepsi Cola. Very rarely you find the soft drink beverage industry any other local product having the market leading. In Sri Lanka, we have that scenario. Still in Sri Lanka, Elephant House is the market leader, right? The leading these two global brands, right? So that is also because of how that Elephant House was able to position their product in the customer for the long run, right? So what I was telling now, when the Pepsi came to the market, now Pepsi had a research to see that when you consider taste, what is the people's reaction? So they had some kind of advertisement. They actually done that research, right? People were given Coke and Pepsi, right? They can't see, right? So cover the eyes. Then they are asking which one is more tasty. So everyone, most of them pick Pepsi, right? They advertise it, right? The Coca-Cola refused that is a biased research. So we will also carry out such a research. They carried out the research, but their result was also the same. So they didn't publish the result, right? Then they thought they also increased that taste part. So they, I don't remember the brand. They changed the Coke with another brand, right? Some kind of cola, right? But at that time, Coca-Cola, they were able to position the Coke, right? So people started to asking the Coke, even though at that time the Pepsi was more tasty, the Coke had very high market share, right? Because it is not the taste that they were positioned. So that was well positioned. So Coke identified that was a bad decision. So they reintroduced the Coke, the old Coke version again, and they continue in the market. So positioning, how you position your product is very important. Now, actually wise, consider health wise. It's not a good product, but we all consume. That is how they position, right? Sprite balanda position karna with refreshment, right? Those are the positioning strategies. When you position something in the customer's mind, so that in today's market, the most important thing is how you position your product or service with the customer. So when it comes to strategic cost management, so it focuses on that. Strategic cost management is the application of cost management techniques that they improve the strategic position of the business as well as control the cost, right? While control the cost, improve your strategic positioning of the business. Both aspects combined together, we call it strategic cost management. It also involves integrating cost information with decision making framework to support overall organization strategy. And the other important thing, the overall organization strategy, right? So it should ultimately achieve the overall organization profit. Right? Now, in certain actions, help for an organization to increase the overall profit, right? By that particular product or service may not be profitable sometimes, right? But the overall, it may be profitable, right? So I can remember that initially this Keels, when they start their bakery, right? They had this normal bread for 53 rupees, right? 53 rupees slices bread, right? Before the price increase, it was there long period, 53 rupees. Then even it increased somewhere around 73 rupees, right? So which is a price even 1 or 2 rupees below the normal bread price, right? But you are giving a slices bread, right? Fresh one. So people used to go to Keels Super, at that time it was Keels Super, now the Keels, to purchase bread. But when you go to supermarket, you don't come only buying the bread, right? So I experience the same thing, right? So normally I'm going to buy a bread, but when come to the counter, sometimes 3,000, 5,000 products may be purchased. Because when you go to the supermarket, you see the products and you know that I need that product. You're buying. It was a very good strategy, right? So they were not worried about getting the profit from the bread, but that boosts their sales, right? Same thing happened in the Keels when they introduced this discount loyalty card Nexus, right? Now, when you consider the Cargills and Keels both, Cargills also had the Nexus, not the Nexus, the Cargills loyalty card, and the Keels loyalty card, right? There were considerable period. When you go to the Cargills, they ask that you are a loyalty card member. When you say no, that's it. Right? But when you go to the Keels, every customer, right? They ask, are you you are a loyalty Nexus card? If you say no, they promote, right? There was a time period when you go to the Keels, always they ask, are you you have an access, right? So now they don't even ask, they just ask what is the Nexus number, because now almost all the customers they are having that, right? And they display those discounted products at the entrance, right? You see 30% discount, 25%, 20% discount. Likewise, if you want, you can buy this maximum quantity like 3 units per day per customer. But if you want, you can take that 3 products. They don't worry about it. But the Cargills, they had the basket, right? You have this 30% discount product, but you should buy other product for 2,000, then only you can have it, right? So one of my friends is in the senior management of the Cargill, so I told him, this strategy will not work, right? So that is the people going for the key, including myself, right? Because the Cargill is too traditional, so he accept that, because what is it was Cargill's very old firm, no? I mean, 1900, right? They established even before 900. So more than 100 years. So they have this traditional mindset. Their top management mindset was, now if you are giving only this discounted product like 30% discount, even these small retailers, they can buy from the supermarket and sell. So that can happen, but Cargill keeps ignoring it. Right? Because those small retailers, they are not competing with the supermarkets. Even though they buy, they don't sell it at a reduced price. But these small businesses try to do. They might buy some of these products from the discounted price, but that only very small scale businesses know buying 3 units per day, right? So they try to increase their market. That has no impact on these large supermarkets. That strategy works for the Keels. So within very short period, Keels become the market leader by surpassing the Cardinals. Right? So the positioning, right? Because they position the customers who basically go for supermarkets, right? So this strategic positioning, how you position your product to the customer is very important, and your strategic decisions should consider overall. Now that also the same. When the person goes to a supermarket and you know that there's a product 30% less, but when you go to the supermarket, you don't buy only that product. Really, there may be customer, right? But most of the customers, when they go to supermarket, with that they create the environment, right? So when you go to the supermarket, you just walk, right, and see. So when you see, now that is the thing. You go to the supermarket, when you see some products, the demand creates something, right? Now that's why you see these old supermarkets, they have these chocolate, pebbles, right, lollipop, these kids items near the counter. Right? Counter එක ළඟ තමයි මේ වගේ items ටික අනිවාර්යෙන් තියෙනවා. එයි. පොඩි ළමයි එනවනේ. right? ඒගොල්ලෝ ආපු ගමන් කැෂියර් ළඟට ගියා. මට මේකක් ඕනේ කියපුවම ඉතින් අරන් දෙනවා. right? You observe all these supermarkets. There's a separate place they have these products. But near the counter, right, top of the counter or just in front of the counter, they have placed these products. These are strategies. Right? These are strategies. Right? So when you are learning these subjects, when you are experiencing, right, when you are going to a shop, buying it, you just observe these things. Right? It's very important, right? Not only this management accounting, right? You have some other subjects, some practical subjects. Even when you work in an organization also, right? When you observe these things, you can read some of these business strategies, right? How the organizations create the market, this positioning. Positioning is a very, very important thing, right? So some people, some companies, they positioning the customer, right? Now the most recent example, Cantos, right? You know the scenario, right? So that is how the Cantos position is a quality. It was real quality product, right? So they consider about the material and all that. They were in one of world leading brand, right, in the 1980s, right, originally. So that is how they position in the customer, right? So when some Facebook campaign, adverse Facebook campaign came, right, Candos had to do nothing to react. Even their customer base react over. දැන් අන්තිමට කියන සමහර වෙලාවට මේක කැන්ටෝස් ළඟම මාකටිං ස්ට්‍රැටජි එකක් දන්නේ නැහැ කියන මට්ටමට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. මොකද ඒ තරමට ඒක that is how you position your product with the customer. ඒ position කරාට පස්සේ that's it. කියන්නේ දැන් customer ගේ ඔළුවේ position වෙලා තියෙනවා මේක quality product එකක්, right? මේගොල්ලෝ කවදාවත් එහෙම කරලා නැහැ, right? That is real unusual scenario, right? That's incident, right? Incident එක පැත්තෙම තියෙනවා unusual situation එකක් and very suspicious one. ඒකම නොවුනත් ඒ positioning, right? Protect, right? Okay. So the basic aim of strategic cost management to help organization to achieve the sustainable competitive advantage. This is very important word. Sustainable competitive advantage. Competitive advantage. What is meant by competitive advantage? Competitive advantage. The advantage that business can take over the competitors. That means your customers value your product or service over the competitors. Your product or service has some features which are valued by customers over the competitors. So you have some competitive advantage, right? Competitive advantage. And some of these competitive advantage is not sustainable, can easily be copied. But some of the competitive advantages are sustainable. That means long run. You can enjoy the competitive advantage. Right? And the banking industry, who introduced ATM to Sri Lanka? ATM? Any idea? ATM is the different. ATM, cash deposit machine, internet banking, mobile banking, right? Okay. सामान्य introduce करना कराने का लगता है main innovator विधि act कराने का सामान्य संपत्ति है right? But the interesting story is the first ATM to Sri Lanka not introduced by Sampath, right? Actually ATM for Sri Lanka introduced by Bank of Sri Lanka. The problem was it was only for this Colombo, right? Few branches, but Sampath Bank did it in all over the country, so that credit goes to Sampath Bank, right? सामान्य होने के लिए होती है पहले भी ATM को Sampath Bank और कितना वो देखो तो मैं एक introduce एक Lanka वाले में introduce कर ला, advertise कर ला, promote कर ला. Now wait, at initial stage, that was a huge advantage from the customer point of view. Can imagine the situation where that if you want to withdraw money, you have to go to the bank and stay in the queue. And suddenly there is a mechanism, and you can go to the ATM machine and get the money within 1 or 2 minutes. Right? That creates competitive advantage to the Sampath Bank, but it is not a sustainable competitive advantage because all other banks introduce ATM. Can't stop it. Can't stop it. So there are certain actions that will give competitive advantage to the business, but you can't sustain. See, there's a superstar, right? That was the first reality program in Sri Lanka that gave a huge competitive advantage to the Sirasa initially, right? So the Mizu have experience reality show, right? But it was not a sustainable competitive advantage because all other channels they started so many reality programs. Can't control it, right? So certain actions will give business to competitive advantage, but all competitive advantage may not sustain. Right? Sustainable competitive advantage it should not be easily copied by others. You should have some kind of technology or patent right or skill, right? Or tacit knowledge or something that will give that benefit over the long run. So the strategic cost management helps to organization to achieve this sustainable competitive advantage. Because that helps for the strategic positioning, like if you position strategically your business correctly in the customer's mind, right, regarding some particular features of your product, you will be able to survive in the long run. Right? Rather than brand loyalty, make a part, right? Once you create a brand image, right? So that itself gives you the sustainable competitive advantage. And globally ගත්තොත් සමහර products තියෙනවා දැන් ගත්තොත් Mercedes Benz, right? ඒගොල්ලෝ position කරලා තියෙනවා standard එක, quality එක, reliability එක සම්බන්ධයෙන් luxury vehicles, right? So ඒක position වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒක sustainable. Our compared to කොච්චර luxury brands ආවත් ඊටත් වඩා high brands එන්න පුළුවන් ඊට වඩා high දැන් Rolls Royce වගේ ගත්තොත් ඒක වඩා high category. හැබැයි අර ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ position එක ගත්තාම ඒක challenge කරන්න බැරි විදිහට ඒක sustainable විදිහට තියන්න. ඒක වෙලා තියෙන එක actually they maintain it. Right? That is then sustainable. Right? ඒක වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Right? Sustainable compared to advanced. Then how Apple phone එක තියන්නේ. Right? Sustainable. Right? සමහරවිට දන්නවා Apple phone එකේ තියෙන features ඔක්කොම අර ඊටත් වඩා තියෙන Chinese brand phone තියෙනවා. Right? Apple එකේ අර වගේ 4-5 ගුණයක් සමහරට price එකත් වැඩි. But you keep that. Right? Compared to advanced. Right? Right. So then we are going to we are discussing the strategic cost management based on this diagram. So we first look at the traditional cost management and strategic cost management with some limitation of traditional cost management. Now we are going to discuss the main component of strategic cost management. Prior to that, we can go through this vision objective, right? Next, the mission, goals, strategies, right? So how I got vision, vision direction, right? But vision does not explain in detail what you are doing. What is your purpose, right? It's a සාමාන්‍ය business වල වැඩි emphasis එකක් දෙන්නේ මේ mission statement කියන එකට mission, right? The basic purpose toward which activities are directed. Why our business operate කියන එක තමයි mission එකේ තියෙන්නේ. What we deliver to our customer, right? So what we value, right? ඔය ටික ඔක්කොම එකතු කරලා තියෙන mission statement, right? When you go to certain organizations, you might see the mission statement is mentioned and that is displayed in the board, right? Just read it. කියලා බලන්න. අද ඒක කියන්නේ ඒගොල්ලෝ. හා ඒ කියලා තියෙන එක ඇත්තටම මේගොල්ලෝ කරන එකත් එක්ක සම්බන්ධ කියලා. උගාක් වෙලාවට ඒක සම්බන්ධ. Right? So the organization having the mission, the purpose towards activities are directed. Goal කියන්නේ identifiable, measurable targets or objectives of an organization. So mission එක බෙදනවා පොඩි goals නැත්නම් objectives වලට අරමුණු වලට. එතකොට මේ objectives කියන ඒවා නැත්නම් goals කියන ඒවා measurable, specific, right? Achievable, right? Measurable targets. මේ goals වලින් තමයි අපි අර mission එක achieve කරන්නේ. Long run mission එක achieve කරන්න නම් specific goals achieve කරන්න. To achieve those goals, to achieve the goals, you need strategies. Strategies තියෙනවා. Course of action that help to achieving the goal. Mission එක අපිට achieve කරන්න බෑ. Mission එකට goal strategy හදන්න බෑ. Mission එක broad. Mission එක ඇතුලේ තියෙන specific, achievable, identifiable, measurable targets වලට අපි කියනවා goals නැත්නම් objectives. මාර textbooks වල ඔකත් බෙදන්න පුළුවන්, right? But සරලව අපි ගත්තොත් goals objective කියන්නේ අර achieve, measurable, specific, identifiable, achievable targets which helps to achieve the mission, right? Go to the mission. Then after strategy හදන්න වෙන්නේ on specific goals. Course of actions that will assist achieving the goals, right? එතකොට මෙන්න මේ goals වලට achieve කරන්න අපි පාවිච්චි කරන strategies So Michael Porter, you know that one of leading management guru, right? So many concepts that we learn, develop. He introduced this generic strategies businesses can use. Three generic strategies help to increase the customer value and that achieve the competitive advantage. Customer ගේ පැත්තෙන් value එකක් තියෙනවා. Customer යමක් value කරනවා කියන්නේ ඒ අපේ product එකේ යම් feature එකක්, quality එකක්, like service එකේ. Whatever the thing, if it is valued by the customer, creating a value කියන්නේ value in customer's mind, customer's perception. Perceived value that term, right? If you're learning the marketing, right? In big extreme eකට what is quality කියන එකත් ඒගොල්ලෝ marketing වල define කරන්නේ කොහොමද? Quality කියන්නේ what customer perceived as quality. බලන්න quality ඇතුලේ ඇත්තටම quality වුණත් ඒක if it is perceived, that's it. As long as you can maintain, right? The value එක කියන්නේ customer perspective. Customer value කරන දෙයක්. That derive the competitive advantage. So there are some strategies business can use to create value for the customers that gives you competitive advantage. Three generic strategies are there: cost leadership, product differentiation, and focusing. So what is the? So we'll discuss about these: cost leadership, product differentiation, and focus. Cost leadership. The same or better value is provided to customer at lower cost than competitors. Cost leadership. Globally, to take China, their main success story, the main strategy as a country is the cost leadership strategy they are using. So basically, almost all product, if you say some product that you are producing it for $100 in some other place in the world, China will say, okay, we will produce the same product for $80. So that is why China's become world largest manufacturer of most of the products. So internet එකේ සමහර පොඩි clips තියෙනවා. World largest manufacturer, right? පොඩි video clips හදලා තියෙනවා. Country wise over the past මොකද මේක change උනේ? Right? World largest manufacturer of automobiles, right? Mahari product, right? World largest manufacturer. Naturally restrictions තියෙන දේවල් අරුණා. So industrial products වගේ එකක්. Right? World largest manufacturers list එක ඇතුලේ China 2000 විතර ඉඳලා පේනවා අර මිනිමස් two shape එකක් ඇවිල්ලා පිටම එනවා. මොකක් ඒ වගේ 1 2 3 ඔය range එකට එනවා. Right? Mainly based on this cost leadership category. You can produce something lower cost than the competitors. How they achieve it? සාමාන්‍ය cost එක අඩු කරන්න තියෙන සරලම strategy එකක්. You want to reduce the per unit cost. What is the most practical and simple strategy you can do? Okay, right? Technology improvement, factors ඔක්කොම එකතු වෙලා තමයි China ඔය lowest cost leadership එක ගන්න. ඔය economic terms එකෙන් බැලුවොත් per unit cost එක අඩු වෙන main fact එකක් තියෙනවා. The quantity, the mass production. When you increase the production, per unit cost decreases. Right? When you are increasing the production, per unit cost decreases. Unit යක් හදනකොට cost එක 15යි වෙනවා. මේ 500ක් හදනකොට cost එක 12යි. මේ 1000ක් හදනකොට cost එක 10යි. මේ 5000ක් හදනකොට cost එක 8යි per unit cost. How this happen? What's the result? From your management accounting knowledge, costing knowledge? Yes. Cost එක ඇතුලේ component දෙකක් තියෙනවා, variable cost and fixed cost. Right? Fixed cost constant. Right? Fixed cost constant. The fixed cost එක බෙදෙනවා unit ගන්න. The per unit cost එක අඩු වෙනවා. ඒවල management accounting ඉගෙනගෙන තියෙන නිසා ඔබට තේරෙනවා. දැන් සාමාන්‍ය කෙනෙක්ට මේක නොතේරෙන්න පුළුවන් නේ. Right? How this happen? අර ජයත්‍යගේ වීඩියෝ එකක් තියෙනවා. මේ මම ෆිගර්ස් ගන්න ටෙක්නික් විදියට ඒක ෆොටෝකොපි ගහන්න මිනිස්සෙක් යනවා. ෆොටෝකොපි 100ක් ගහනවා නම් පෝස්ටර්ස් 100ක් කීයද කියලා. ඒක 15 ගහන්න. 500ක් කැල්කියුලේටර් එකෙන් 12ක් කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. 1000ක් නම් 10කට කියනවා. 5000ක් කියවුවොත් 8කට විතර කරලා දෙන්න. ඉතින් මම කියනවා තරහ වෙන්න එපා. නිකම්ම ගහ ගන්න නම් කීයක් වගේ ගහන්න ඕනේ කියලා. ඒ වැඩි ප්‍රයිස් එක අඩු වෙනවා. Right? එතකොට මේකේ රීසන් එක තියෙන fixed cost එක බෙදෙන්න. Right? If you don't have the that concept, right? Feels like when the quantity increases, per unit cost decreases. Right? So this is what the make of mass scale එකට ගියාම අපි ඔකට economic term එකක් කියනවා මොකක්ද? When you are producing larger quantity, you get economic of scale, right? China පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ මේකෙන් එහාට කියන්නේ. Fixed cost එක බෙදෙන එකට අමතරව economics of scale, efficiency improvement, right? So you have the very large production, right? You can reduce at the lower cost, right? That is why you find some of the product, right? You can buy the American සාමාන්‍ය පොඩි product or plastic items or හරි දේවල් ගත්තොත් right මම මේ මේක නම් මම Thailand වලද right සාමාන්‍ය product ගත්තොත් made in China right ඉතල China වල හදලා ship කරලා ආවට ගෙනල්ලා මෙහෙ රුපියල් 20ට රුපියල් 50ට විකුණනවා අපේ රටේ හදනවා නම් ඔක රුපියල් 100කට යනවා තමයි. That is the economics of scale. Right? So cost leadership is a very generic strategy, right? Company might redesign the product that fewer parts are needed, lowering the production cost, and cost is maintaining the product after purchase, so that this cost leadership mainly you can use for the standard product. You don't have so many features, right? Even though that world is developing and customer needs are expanding, right? Customers need a lot of customized features, all that true. Still, there is a huge range of product still that you need to satisfy the basic conditions, right? If you can provide that product with the basic condition, there is a market for it. There are large number of customers which is affordable to them when you are producing at a lower price. So for people willing to buy it. Right? Very high price sector. Here, $5 එකයි අනිත් එක $400. Right? Comparison එක. Video එක. Right? $5 එක China. Right? ඒක basic. Right? ඒක පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකේ සාමාන්‍ය යම කපන්න පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. Feed the workers. Right? $400 එක exceptional. Right? But there is a market for that $5 one. Right? Cost leadership. You can achieve the basic purpose using a very reasonable cost, right? So that will give you the competitive advantage. So there are companies even. They try to do this. Now in Sri Lankan context, any example for firm using cost leadership? Cost leadership. Cost leadership. Supermarket, when you take supermarket, large number of products, then cost leadership. Then cost leadership is standard product that you are producing at a below cost. Supermarket වල වෙන්නේ ඒගොල්ලෝ අර discount දෙන එක standard එකක් වෙනවා. Right? ඒක real strategy වල cost leadership නෙමෙයි ඒගොල්ලෝ use කරන්නේ. එක්තරා දුරකට මේ product එක හදාලා ඒගොල්ලන්ට පුළුවන් large quantity එක නිසා. Right? But overall basic level කියන්නේ product එකක් තියෙනවා. මට මතක් වෙන main example එක තමයි ලංකාව පුරාම ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැකලා ඇති. වාසනාකේ කියලා කේක් shop එකක් තියෙන හොරණ ඕනේ. Right? දැන් මට මතකයි මේ price කියලා ගොඩාක් prices වැඩි වෙන්න කලින් 2020කට කලින් වගේ එකක්. Right? ඒක තියෙනවා දැන් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි හිතමු කේක් කිලෝ එකක් රුපියල් 500යි. ඒ කාලේ. වාසනායකේ ගහලා තියෙනවා ඒ කේක් කිලෝ එක 300යි. නේ? බටර් කේක් එක 500 ලා අනිත් තැන් වල සාමාන්‍යයෙන් 300යි කියලා. right? ඉතින් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ගෙදර හැදුවත් අපිට 500 අස්සර යනවා කොහොමද? නේ? ඒගොල්ලෝ මාකේ ප්‍රොඩක්ෂන් එකක් කරා. බේසික් ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකක්. right? Affordable for the people, right? සාමාන්‍ය මිනිස්සෙක් ලංකාවේ වැඩි පිරිසක් ගන්න. ඒගොල්ලන්ට ගිහිල්ලා PNS එකකින් හරි වෙන තැනකින් ඒගොල්ලෝ ඉතන quality focus කරන්නේ, but this is value for money product, right? Value for money නෝනා නම් ඔච්චර establish වෙන්නේ. right? I have seen that all over the country, right? all candy, Brunagel, හැමතැනම තියෙනවා. right? මම ළඟදී දැක්කා මේගොල්ලන් ඕනගේ discussion එකක් තිබුණා. ඒකට north east වල branches open කරනවා. right? ඒක COVID වලට කලින් 20% නම් I don't know that. was affected. So the COVID එකෙන් පස්සේ සම්පූර්ණ price එකත් එක double වුණා නේද inflation එකත් එක්ක. right? Cost leadership. right? Basic product at a with the main features, the others cannot compete. ඊට වඩා අඩුවට product එක දෙන්නම. අන්න ඒ වගේ වුණොත් cost leadership. right? Particular product you are supplying at the price which cannot match by the competitors. The other one, differentiation. That වෙලාවට ලෝකේ තියෙන්නේ ඕක. Because that people are having different needs, right? That ඊළඟ focus එක. Differentiation කියන්නේ mass level එක. That means you try to differentiate your product with some features compared with others. Right? Compared with others. In any competitors වලට වඩා ඔයාගේ product එකේ customer value කරන features මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? Right? Example එකක් තියෙනවා computer retailer might offer on-site repair service features not offered by other in the local market. එතකොට අපේ product එක differentiate. අනිත් අයට. එහෙනම් customers ලා මේ product එක දෙන්න. Right? ඒක නම් ලංකාවේ ඕන තරම් තියෙනවා differentiated. ඒ අනිත් අය නොදෙන value එකක් customer ට දෙනවා. Right? ඒ නිසා customer ඒ product එකට යනවා. නැත්නම් service එකට යනවා. Example. So you can even charge a premium price because based on how the customer value that feature, the additional one, your premium price will vary. Right? Example. Product differentiation. Now your product, a particular product, deliver some differentiated value to the customer than the others. And globally ගත්තොත් Apple phone එක ආවේ differentiation. Right? And අනිත් phones වල නොදෙන differentiation features. Right? Mainly safety. Right? Right? When the safety is matter, again then ඔය මේ රටේ අපි වැඩි මුසලකා හැරියට. Right? ඉතින් rate phone එකක් කියන radiation, right? වල impact එකක්. ඒකේ impact එක අවම වෙන විදිහට තමයි Apple පටන් ගන්නේ. Right? අනිත් එක camera. Right? Customer mainly pay value එක උනේ camera එක. Right? Then so many other features. Right? Then බලන්න දැන් the product that is the positioning එකක් තියෙනවානේ. දැන් කවුරුත් phone එක කියන එක මේ කතා කරන්න කියන එක ගැන ඒක අදාළවත් නැහැ. ඉතින් මම දැක්කම කොමඩි වෙබ්සයිට් එකක් ගියා ෆෝන් එකක් ගැන විස්තර කරලා කරලා ඔක්කොම කියනවා ඒකේ තියෙන ෆීචර්ස් කිමයි පුළුවන්ට කැප් කරන්න පුළුවන් WhatsApp යවන්න පුළුවන් කැමරා තියෙනවා මෙච්චර කැමරා වලට ඔක්කොම කියලා අන්තිමට කතා කරන්න බෑ. කෝල්ස් ගන්න බෑ. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒක ආස කියන්නේ මිනිස්සුන්ට දැන් ඒක එච්චර වැදගත් නෑ. ෆෝන් එක කෝල්ස් ගන්න කියන එක බේසික් නීඩ් එක අමතක වෙන මට්ටමට ඒකට ෆීචර්ස් ඇඩ් වෙලා. ඒ ඔක්කොම differentiation. Right? Differentiation feature. Right? So when the mobile phone introduced, right? The mobile phone itself is a differentiation. Right? Earlier we had this landline, right? Which is not portable, right? It's fixed, right? You can't take somewhere else, right? ඒ කාලේ මට මතකයි මුලින්ම ලංකාවට ආපු මේ මොබයිල් ෆෝන් එක මීට වඩා ලොකුයි. right? මීට වඩා බලන්නයි. right? walkie talkie එක size එක. right? Teltel තමයි network provider. And it was at that time 50,000. ඒ කියන්නේ අවුරුදු 5කට විතර කලින් කලින් අලි 50,000 කියන්නේ ලක්ෂ 5ක් ඊටත් වැඩි. බිස්නස් මස්ලා තමයි මොබයිල් ෆෝන් එකක් පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ. right? So at that time that is a differentiated feature. What is the differentiation? A phone that you can take it and go somewhere, right? You need not to stay at home or office, pick a phone, right? So at that time it was a really differentiated feature, right? That customer valued it. But later, the SMS came, right? Take a differentiation. Add a camera, radio, TV, right? Then thereafter social media, WhatsApp, Facebook, all that features, YouTube, right? So that increase. So all that when you are giving some differentiation. Some basic product like toothpaste, right? The toothpaste market, if you take around 20, 30 years back, toothpaste equal signal. Toothpaste කියලා වචනයක් නැහැ. කඩේකට ගිහලා signal එකක් කියලා ඉන්න. Right? Signal equal toothpaste වගේ තිබුණා. Right? So that is the main player. Right? අර කව එක බ්‍රෑන්ඩ් එකක් තුනක් මතක නැහැ. මම හිතන්නේ ඒකත් Unilever වල වෙන්නේ. Unilever සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඒක කරනවා. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේම බ්‍රෑන්ඩ් එකත් එක්ක කම්පීට් කරන ඒගොල්ලෝ තව බ්‍රෑන්ඩ් එකක්. Right? දාලා කම්පිටිටිව්ලි ඇඩ්වර්ටයිසින්ග් කරනවා. මිනිස්සු සිග්නල් වලට කැමති නැත්නම් ගන්නේ අනිත් බ්‍රෑන්ඩ් එක ඒකත් ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ. So තමයි අවුරුදු ගාණක් ලංකාවේ because the product like toothpaste consumed by everyone. So then Kmas group came with the product with a small differentiation. Slogan. Slogan kharabu net sale. So Lanka මිනිස්සු අර පොඩි herbal දේවල් වලට කැමැත්තක් තියෙනවා. right? ඒකට අර එකත් එක්ක දැන් අපේ තිබ්බ ට්‍රැඩිෂන් එක මේ kharabu net කියන එක හොඳයි දත් වලට. They were able to capture some. Rogat have a considerable market capture. That is a differentiator. ඊට පස්සේ Galle පාවා දැන් අරක kharabu net sale කියන්නේ අර සාමාන්‍ය එකට පොඩි herbal part නේ ඒගොල්ලෝ pure herbal product එකක් විදියට ආවා සුපිරි විදියට. It's a differentiation. ඒක ඇත්තටම ඊළඟ එක focus market strategy එක. ඒකලෝ market segment එකක් අල්ලලා. So your product differentiate. Any feature set කර. right? එතකොට the customer create a value. එතකොට ඔයාට market share එකක් හැදෙනවා. right? You differentiate your product with the customers. So this cost leadership and differentiation practically, if you take mass scale, you can talk about mass scale cost leadership like China, and product differentiation mass scale like Apple, right? But practically, most of the businesses nowadays, they follow this focus strategy, focus product differentiation or focus cost leadership. You focus on particular market segment and you are satisfying the value for that particular market segment. Right? Then, Rogan lakale differentiate kara. kharabu net sale දාලා ඒක mass scale. ඊළඟට දැන් අපි ගත්තොත් ඔය මේ Sensodyne differentiate and focus. right? ඒගොල්ලෝ අඳුනගත්තා right. එක්තරා පිරිසක් ඉන්නවා මේ දත් සංවේදීතාව කියන. right? ඒකේ ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙනවා. ඒකේ දත් පිළිවැටනවා කියනවා. ඒකට සොලියුෂන් එකක් දෙන්නේ ඒගොල්ලෝ ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකක් දැම්ම. ඒතර මට මතකයි දැන් ඔක අවුරුදු ගානකට කලින් normal අපිට toothpaste එක රුපියල් 100ක් 150ක් කාලේ Sensodyne එක 500ක්. right? So that when you have the focus differentiation, you can charge premium price. මොකද ඒ අවශ්‍ය කැටගරි එකට ඒක ඕනේ. ඊළඟට තව mass scale differentiation එකක් තමයි signal ලගේ signal toothbrush එක. signal toothbrush එක ඔයාලට මොකද දන්නේ සාමාන්‍ය toothbrush එක additional toothbrush එකක් ගත්තොත් මේ වගේ තිබෙන උත්තරය. මේගොල්ලෝ මේක පොඩි මෙන්න ඉනෝවේෂන් එකක් ආවා. හරි? මෙතන දෙකෙන්ම ඇන්ගල් එක. I can remember the Devakeeps මේක එනකොට සාමාන්‍ය toothbrush එක රුපියල් 10යි. සිග්නල් මේක ඇඩ්වර්ටයිස් කරලා 22කට. right? දෙක. ඔතන මෙන්න මේ ඉනෝවේෂන් එක පේට් එකක් තිබ්බා. මේක සිග්නල් ලගේ ඉනෝවේෂන් එකක් නෙමෙයි මේක someone else discovered that. He sell it into the universe. අත්කරක් ගන්න ඒ දවස්වල කිව්වේ මේ පේටන්ට් එකට රුපියල් 10කට ආසන්න ගාණක් ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකට ගෙවනවා. ඒ නිසා තමයි මේ ප්‍රයිස් ගැප් එක මෙච්චර ආවේ. More than that, but still that differentiation work. Differentiation work. ඒක කොච්චරට වැඩ කරාද කිව්වොත් එහෙම. දැන් ඒක ඩෙල්ටා toothbrush එක ආව දැන් ඒගොල්ලෝ differentiate කරනවා. ඒගොල්ලෝ පොයින්ට් එකක් ගෙනාවා. ඒගොල්ලෝ ඇඩ්වර්ටයිස් කරලා කොහමද? toothbrush එකක වැදගත්ම කොටස මොකක්ද කියලා. නේ? ඒකයි නේද? මොකද අරගොල්ලෝ සිග්නල් ඇඩ්වර්ටයිස් කරේ පොසිෂන් කරේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ නැමි තුනේ මීටර් තියනවා. ඒක හොඳට දත් මදින්න පුළුවන්. ඒක පොසිෂන්. එතකොට ඩෙල්ටා ඇඩ්වර්ටයිස් කරා ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ පොසිෂනින් එක එකක් වැඩ කරා ඒක. ඩෙල්ටා ලොකු මාකට් එකක් අහලා. ඒගොල්ලෝ ඇඩ්වර්ටයිස් කරා එක එකයින් ගිහලා අහනවා. right? ඒක ඇඩ්වර්ටයිස්මන්ට් ගිහින් අරුණ්ඩ ඇත්වන්ට. famous announcer. right? එයා තමයි අහන්නේ ගිහලා toothbrush එක වැදගත්ම කොටස මොකක්ද? ඒ මොනසෙ කියලා මම හිතන්නේ කේන්ති. තව කෙනෙක් කියනවා කේන්ති. right? අන්න පොසිෂන්. ඒගොල්ලෝ කියනවා right. අපේ toothbrush එකේ කේන්ති වල quality එක ඒගොල්ලෝ focus. ඊට පස්සේ ඔය shape එක හැබැයි හැම toothbrush එකකම අර නැවිතුන කියන එක ඒගොල්ලන්ට patent එක තිබුණ නිසා අනිත් අයට ඒක කරන්න බැරි වුණා. ඒක ඒගොල්ලෝ යම් විදිහකින් වෙනස් කර අර traditional shape එකකින් වෙනස් කරනවා. Those all these are differentiation that create some differentiated value to the customer. Right? එතකොට දැන් මේ example එක ගත්තොත් ඒක general differentiation. Focus strategy, focus cost leadership and focus differentiation. The focus cost leadership. Focus cost leadership, you find some small restaurant, right? They target particular customer base who cannot afford high price, but they want a basic meal at a lower cost. Right? Basic meal at a relatively lower cost. එතකොට cost leadership focus. සාමාන්‍ය යුනිවර්සිටි එකක් ඉස්සරහා ඔය වගේ තියෙනවා බත් කඩ. right? ඒ කියන්නේ යුනිවර්සිටි ස්ටුඩන්ට්ස් ට affordable price එකකට cost leadership large scale production. right? සාමාන්‍ය යුනිවර්සිටි වල ජපුරේ ඉස්සරහා තියෙනවා කැකුළු බත් කඩ. right? එතකොට ඒගොල්ලෝ cost leadership mass scale එකකින් හදනවා. right? කැකුළු බත් ඉතින් යුනිවර්සිටි ළමයි ගොඩ යනවා. right? ඒතර ඒක හැබැයි ඒක focus. මොකද ඒගොල්ලෝ ටාගට් කරන්නේ ඒ crowd එක. right? සාමාන්‍ය මිනිස්සු විලෙන් කෑම ගන්නව නෙමෙයි. Focus cost leadership. Focus strategy can be cost leadership. The sensodyne but focus differentiation. Right? Not the mass scale. Right? I'm කෙනෙක්ට මොනේ නෑනේ අර sensodyne වලින් මදි. හැබැයි අවශ්‍යතාවය තියෙන පිටට differentiate කරනවා. So these are the three generic business strategies. Cost leadership, product differentiation and focus. So even the focus strategy ultimately it has the product differentiation and cost leadership. So the primary you can differentiate you can identify the two strategies, product differentiation and cost leadership. Right? There be management accounting perspective again. Cost information perspective again may make a compare role of product costing assessing the performance, product cost, role of the product cost assessing the performance, product differentiation, which is not important, right? Because you are adding some features that value the customer, so your cost may increase, so you charge a premium price. ඒකයි Sensodyne එක අනිත් toothpaste 200 දෙනකොට ඒගොල්ලෝ 500ට විකුණනවා. එකම size එකේ product. So the cost is not important. But cost leadership, role of the product cost in assessing performance very important. Cost එක අඩු කිරීම තමයි මේ strategy එක. එන්න product cost එක performance measure කරන්න ඉතා වැදගත්. Importance of flexible budgeting for cost control. Cost control එක වෙන විදිහට budget එක flexible කර ගැනීම. Product differentiation එකේදී ඉච්චර වැදගත් නෑ. මොකද අපි ඒකේ value එක focus කරනවා. Cost leadership very important, very high. Perceived importance of meeting the budget. Cost leadership high to very high. The importance. But product differentiation, budget එක meet නොවුනත් කමක් නෑ අපිට value එක create කරන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Even at higher price, higher cost. The importance of marketing, making cost, importance of marketing cost analysis, marketing cost. The marketing mainly positioning the customers about the value, right? Value created by your product. In a marketing cost analysis, එක ඉතා වැදගත්. ඒ කියන්නේ customer ට product එක position කරන්න කොච්චර cost එකක් දෙනවද? ඒකෙන් අපිට කොච්චර අපේ product එක position කරගන්න පුළුවන් වුණාද කියලා. ඒක very critical. Right? The differentiation product. Some companies offer differentiated product, but customer may not perceive. Then your product is fail. Right? අපේ product එකේ differentiate feature එකක් තිබුණාට ඒක customer perceive කරන්නේ නැත්නම් fail. අපේ product එකේ තියෙන differentiation එක customer ට perceive කරන්න. ඒක communicate කරන්න. එතනදී marketing එක වැදගත්. එතකොට මේ marketing cost එක එතනදී වැදගත්. Then latest එහෙම marketing success picture story එකක් තමයි Airtel freedom package. ඊට කලින් එක networks වල යම් විදිහට යම් restrictions යටතේ unlimited කියන්නේ ඒ අදාළ network එකට ඇතුලේ unlimited දෙනවා නැත්නම් 1000 minutes call ඔය වගේ ඒවා තිබුණා. Airtel මොකද කරේ? Airtel strategy එකක් ගෙනාවා. Unlimited calls for a package, right? 759 unlimited for any network, right? Airtel freedom package. ඒක මාස දෙකක් වගේ අතට 1.5 million sims ඒගොල්ලෝ විකුණා. ඒක කොච්චර සක්සස් ද කිව්වොත් ඊට පස්සේ අනිත් ඔක්කොම network providers ලට unlimited package වලට එන්න උනා. right? එතන මේක සක්සස් වුණා. ඒක නිසා සමහර අය පරණ package එකෙන් මාරු වුණා. මොකද මේක unlimited. දැන් අද ගොඩක් වෙලා dual sim තියෙන නිසා පරණ number එක ගොඩක් අයලා තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි calls වලට ඒගොල්ලෝ අලුත් package එකට මාරු වෙලා. දැන් ඔකට count attack එකක් මේ දවස්වල යනවා. මේක ලොකුට බලපානවා මේ service provider කෙනෙක් Galle. right? Dialog වල දැන් position කරනවා මොකද්ද? දැන් Dialog නේ largest network coverage එක තියෙන ලංකාව. right? ඒගොල්ලෝ වල දැකලා ඇති unlimited කිව්වට ඇත්තටම unlimited වෙන්න නම් අර මේ ප්‍රයාස circumstances ටිකක් තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ highlight කරන්නේ. හැබැයි ඒගොල්ලෝ ඒක යම් තාක් දුරට positioning කරගෙන යනවා. right? ඒ කියන්නේ ඔන්න ඔය හරි hotel එක photo එකක් ගන්න යනවා. right? නැත්නම් Facebook දාන්න live යනවා signal. right? ඔය වගේ අන්දක් මුදුරට නැගලා මක් කර එකක් කියලා දැන් මේ ප්‍රයාස circumstances එක. Airtel ලගේ ලොකු coverage එකක් තියෙනවා. හැබැයි මුළු ලංකාවම ගත්තොත් higher strength එක තාම තියෙන Dialog. ඒගොල්ලන්ට තියෙනවා අතන ඇඩ්වාන්ටේජ් එකක්. ඒගොල්ලෝ ඒක ලස්සනට පොසිෂනින් වලට පාවිච්චි කරනවා. ඒක කොච්චර සක්සස් ද කියන එක අපිට බලන්න වෙන ඉස්සරහට. Right? So when you are learning these subjects, these advertisements, these things, ඔයගොල්ලෝ subjects එක පොඩ්ඩක් relate කරලා බලන්න. Right? මේ පාවිච්චි කරන strategies. So that marketing cost analysis is important for the product differentiation. Differentiate කරලා ඒකට ඒගොල්ලෝ දැන් හත්කගේ ගත්තොත් ඒක අනිවාර්යයෙන් success story එකක්. actually මේ යාට යාට freedom ඒකට ලොකු advertisement campaign එකක් කරා ඒක. right? ඒක දිගට මතකයි සමහර matches යනකොට එන ඕරේ දානවනේ ඉතින්. මම වෙලේම එකම ad එක යනවා. ඒ තරමට ඒක market කරා. හැබැයි that work. ඒගොල්ලෝ පොසිෂන් කරා ඒක. මේ වෙලාවෙ එතන තිබුණා කවුරුත් දුන්නේ නැහැ unlimited any network. Then now the things have changed, right? Again, remember when we were undergraduate in the universities, right? ඒ කාලේ mobile network අපි first year වගේ ඉන්නකොට incoming charge කරා. Can you imagine incoming, right? මට මතකයි මගේ ළඟ තිබුණා මුලින්ම ඒ කාලේ Celtel package එකක්. incoming විනාඩියකට ඒ කාලේ රුපියල් 12ක්. right? දවල්ට කෝල් එකක් එනකොට බයයි. කාලේ රුපියල් 12ක් කැපෙනවා incoming විනාඩිය. දැන් 8න් පස්සේ තමයි incoming call එකකට රුපියල් 5ක් වගේ fix fee එකක් තියෙන්නේ. සාමාන්‍ය ගෙදරින් ගියම දන්නවනේ 8න් පස්සේ තමයි කතා කරන්නේ. ඉස්සෙල්ල කවුරුහරි කතා කරලා ඉක්මනට තියන්න බලන්න නේද ඉන්කමින් විනාඩියකට charge එක. ඊට කාලයකට පස්සේ තමයි ඉන්කමින් ෆ්‍රී කරේ. ඉන්කමින් ෆ්‍රී මුලින්ම කරාම ඔය වගේ එකක් right. ඒක ලොකු වැලියු එකක් right. හරි කට්ටියක් කරපුවම ඉතින් කරා. ඒක කොහොමද ලංකාවේ මේ ටෙලිෆෝන් normally විනාඩියකට ඒ කාලේ රුපියල් 10ක් 8ක් ඔය වගේ charge කරගෙන. ඕක බ්‍රේක් කරේ එයාට. එයාට ලංකාවට එනවා කියලා එන්න ආවෙම එයාට ඉන්දියන් ලීඩින් එක right. ඒගොල්ලන්ට ඒගොල්ලෝ ලංකාවට එනවා මෙන්න රුපියල් 8ක් 10ක් වෙන අවුට්ගෝයින් එක මේගොල්ලෝ ආවට පස්සේ රුපියලකට අඩුවෙන් දෙනවා වගේ කතාවක් ගියා. ඒකත් එක්ක ඒගොල්ලෝ ඇඩ්වර්ටයිස්මන්ට් එකක් දැම්මා අර ශාරුක් ખાන්ව දාලා right hello ශ්‍රී ලංකා කියලා අනිත් පැත්ත හැරිලා කතා කරනවා. ඊට පස්සේ මේ පැත්තට හැරුණාම ශාරුක් ඉන්නේ ඔහම ඇඩ් එකක් දැම්මා. ඒතකොට ඒකත් එක්ක ඒගොල්ලෝ මේ විදිහට මාකට් එකට ආවම ලංකාවේ මොබයිල් නෙට්වර්ක්ස් අනිත් ඒවා ඔක්කොම වැටෙනවා. ඒගොල්ලෝ රුපියලට දුන්නා නම් මේ වෙලාවේ අනිත් අයට දෙන්න බෑ. right? So then TRC එකකින් පොඩ්ඩක් ඒක මේවා කරලා ඒගොල්ලන්ට charge කරන්න කිව්වා 1.52ක් ඔය වගේ ටිකක්. ඒගොල්ලෝ ඉතපු තරමට වඩා වැඩි ගානක් charge කරන්න කිව්වා. මොකද නැත්තම් competition එක නැතුවම ගිහිල්ලා right. ඒ කාලේ තිබ්බඩායලොක් මොබිටෙල් එකිසලාට ඔය කට්ටියට යන්නම වෙන scene එකක් තිබුණා right. ඒක beat කරන්න බැරි තරම් competition. ඒක එහෙම වුණා නම් මොනොපොලි එකක් එනවා right. ඒකත් ස්ට්‍රැටජි එක හොඳයි right. ඒ නිසා කම්පිටිටිව් ඔක්කොම අඩු කරා. රීසනබල් ප්‍රයිස් එකකට අවුට්ගෝයින් අඩු කරන්න තියෙනවා right. So the marketing cost analysis important differentiation. Don't think mobile industry network වල differentiate කරනවා එක features එක. Importance of product cost as an input to pricing decision. Now differentiation strategy, your pricing is not based on the cost, based on the perceived value of the customer. Right? Perceived value, cost leadership. Your price is mainly cost plus. ඒකයි අපිට cost එක අඩු කරන්න. If your price is determined not based on cost, අපි ශැංගිලා එකේ හරි විල්ටන් හරි මොකක් හරි ඔය ස්ටාර් හොටෙල් එකක් ගත්තොත් ඒගොල්ලෝ මේ ප්‍රයිස් කරන්නේ කොස්ට් එකටම නෙමෙයි ලොකු මාජින් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒක වැලියු එක. ඒ ගාන ගෙවන්න කස්ටමර් කැමතියි. හැබැයි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි ගත්තොත් සාමාන්‍ය කඩේක කෑම එකක් දෙනකොට ඒගොල්ලන්ට කොස්ට් එක කන්සිඩර් කරන්න වෙනවා. කොස්ට් එකට මාජින් එකක් තියන තුම ප්‍රයිස් කරන්න. So you know customer will right? So when it comes to product differentiation, it provides a differentiated product. The pricing decision, the importance of the cost as an input, very low. But the cost leadership strategy is used when pricing decision cost is very important, right? So you have to reduce the cost. The importance of competitors' cost analysis is not important for product differentiation. You should analyze the perceived value of the competitors from the customer's perspective, right? A product එකේ customers ලා value කරන්නේ මොනවද කියන එක තමයි අපිට analyze කරන්න. Right? Not the cost. Cost leadership පුනः බලන්න ඕන, right? මේගොල්ලෝ මෙච්චර cost එකට අඩු කරන නිසා තමයි මේ price එකට දෙන්නේ. කොහොමද ඒගොල්ලෝ cost එක අඩු කරලා තියෙන්නේ කියන එක ගැන අපිට consider කරන්න වෙනවා. How our competitors reduce the cost, right? When you are competing with the cost. Then we got communication centers වගේ ගත්තා. right? දැන් යුනිවර්සිටි එක ළඟ ඉස්සරහ සාමාන්‍ය communication centers ගොඩාක් තියෙනවා photocopies ගන්න. ඒතර ඒ වගේ ලොකුවට පරණ machines දාලා ලොකුවට produce කරන තැන් තියෙනවා. ඒතර ඒගොල්ලෝ cost leader. right? 750ක් හරි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අඩුයි. print out එකකට photocopy එකකට right? දැන් අනිත් අයත් බලනවා right කොහොම හරි machines වලින් ඒක තමයි compete කරන්නේ. right? So they can differentiate කරන්න අමාරුයි photocopy එකක් ගත්තොත් right? differentiate කරන්න. right? So basically cost leadership. right? Okay, we'll take a short break and after the break we'll move to the activity case.
I didn't. Hardly.
Right. Shall we continue? Yeah. Just take a simple case here. The following information extracted from the financial statement of a company producing product A and B. If the company stopped producing product B, A sales would be fall by 25%. Discuss how this is deals with traditional cost management approach and strategic cost management approach. Right? The traditionally value was right A and B. A profitable with net profit 20 million, B net loss 2 million. So you look at the traditional cost management, divisional performance wise. So you would say, okay, better to stop the B, right? What I mean, 25% sale fall of A in a strategic cost management perspective. So if you look at it, overall organization strategic cost management perspective only, you will identify that there would be an impact of sales. Now that happens sometimes. You are dropping a loss-making segment of the business, but if you drop that loss-making segment, some customers will not come to the business. So those customers, when they come to the business, they will buy some profit-making segment as well. So when you drop the loss-making segment, automatically some profit-making segment sales also drop. Right? So the answer is there in the next slide. Discussed. If the information provided case A approach using the traditional cost management techniques, the company might decide to stop the production of B because it has a high overhead cost and resulted 2 million loss. Hence, it appears sensible to close down the product B. Because you see that gross profit of A 25, B 10, overhead of A 5, B 12. So that we ended up with the loss. So by dropping B, you can avoid the loss. However, the additional information says that sales of product A would reduce by 25% if company stop the production of B. This will result a loss of 5 million in the gross profit. 20 million gross profit into 25%, 5 million. Assuming overhead cost fixed, the net profit also reduced by 5 million. Now, when you take this one, 25% decrease of sales by A, that means the gross profit proportionally reduced by 25% of 25. 20%, 25% reduce. So, Rattanenava sales 25% කියන්නේ 60 into 75%, 45 sales. 35 into 25%, 8.7. For even something, 5 million remain. $20 million into 25. Net profit price, right? Ultimate profit. We are assuming the everything net profit worth 20 million. The sales drop proportionately variable cost drop right? Profit 25% drop right? At the profit 25% drop 20 net. Right? Make a sales the 5 million in net, right? It would have still it's a loss. Right? Sales that 25 into 25%, 6.25. That's what I value loss right? Again, sales in the cost of sales proportionately vary 35 into 35 into 26.25 minus 45, 18.25 organic. Profit again 18, again 6.25 loss again, right? We go to the explanation the 20% case like that, right? We explain 20%, 25% loss of the profit here. Sales here, profit, right? Okay, we go ahead with that. Profit decreased by 25%. So the 5 million decrease of the profit of A. But we are saving only 2 million loss from B. B will loss 2 million. So by discontinuing the B, you are saving the 2 million loss. But on the other hand, we are incurring additional 5 million. So overall, from the company perspective, there is a 3 million negative, right? So you should not drop the product B, even though it is loss making. That is the strategic cost management decision. Right, then we have another case. Manufacturing company does not carry out preventive maintenance of machinery on regular basis to save cost. The repair cost of machinery is carried out as N when the machine breaks down. This is the traditional approach to cost management. They are focused on cost reduction and cost saving. So this is a short-term approach to manage the cost. When machine breaks down, company lose more items of loss of time production and idle labor hours, lack of regular prevention maintenance and planned shutdown time is reduce the life of the machine and has a long-term impact. If the loss of production is significant, company might lose the market share. So it is important to maintain, right? It's a simple thing, right? So if you don't properly maintain the machine, carry out the repair and maintenance, then there will be more frequent machine breakdown. So traditionally but they say that maintaining repair that is high cost. This is two extreme example, right? Just to highlight the two perspectives. If you focus on the cost reduction, you can go ahead without maintenance. Whenever it's break down, you do the repair. Right? And, that will be high cost sometimes. That will reduce the long run efficiency of the business. You may lose the customers, right? You may lose the market share. So you have to regularly maintain. Right. So here, look at the traditional cost management and strategic cost management. The main differences: traditional cost management, short-term concept, right? Strategic cost management. Strategic cost management. Strategic cost management, long-term. Traditional cost management, focus internal. Strategic cost management, focus external, both internal and external, right? Internal you can't ignore. Internal as well as external. Again, the cost and the strategic positioning, external factors, those considered. Cost driver concept based on volume of the product. The strategic cost management, each value activity has separate cost driver. So not based on volume, but activities associated with the product. Mainly the activities which create value. We take into consideration there. The objectives for keeping, detecting problems and solving. Strategic cost management එක focus කරන්නේ what is our cost strategy එක cost leadership the product differentiation. Cost reduction, primary objective, cost reduction. Primary objective is cost reduction with the value improvement. දෙකම consider කරනවා. Traditional approach එකේ risk averse. Risk එක මාga අරින්න risk එක අඩු කිරීම තමයි focus එක. Here risk taking and ability to adapt itself with the changing environment. For the modern management, you can't be a risk averse. You have to take the risk. Right? Accept the certain level of risk, and you have to take some actions to manage with them. So, a focus again තමයි strategic cost management develop වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. So then you can see the main three areas that we identify in diagram also. Here, the main component of strategic cost management, strategic positioning, cost drive analysis, and value chain analysis. Now we are going to discuss about these elements. So strategic positioning analysis, cost drive analysis, and value chain analysis. So the first, strategic positioning analysis. Company relative positioning within the industry matters the performance. So strategic positioning reflects choosing a company makes about the kind of value it creates and how that value will be created differently than the competitors. So strategic positioning analysis is concerned with the impact of external and internal environment on overall strategy of the company. industry එක අපි කොහොමද customer position කරන්නේ, right? Our value creation relative to the competitor. Positioning it clear, right? This is very important. How your company product or service position in customers' mind, right? සමහර වෙලාවට ඒක quality එක නැත්නම් cost leader වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Quality එක වෙන්න පුළුවන්. After sales service එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Luxury, right? Brand image, right? Reliability, right? So different features, right? Accessibility, right? But actually, feature maybe one or maybe so many, right? Then, අමහර වෙලාවට positioning, strategic positioning, you do the marketing, strategic positioning, your action should reflect that. Otherwise, competitor might take the advantage, right? Such an incident happened in the case of this Cargills and Heels. Cargills advertise ගෙදර යන ගමන් ඒගොල්ලෝ එකේ ફોકસ කරේ මොකද්ද? වැඩට ගිහිලා අපෝ ගෙදර යනකොට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ගෙදරට අවශ්‍ය ප්‍රොඩක්ට් ටික ගන්න Cargills එකට යන්න කියන එක තමයි ફોકස්. right? ඒක ඒගොල්ලෝ දිගට ඇඩ්වර්ටයිස් කරගෙන but Heels identify okay, right? You go to the Colombo, right? සාමාන්‍ය සුපර් මාකට් එකට බෝවිට යන්නේ වාහනයක යන අය, right? Second travel කරන අතරමඟ සුපර් මාකට් එකට යන්න අමාරුයි. Right? When you are traveling from the vehicle, right? When you are going after working, when you return to the home, your outlet should be placed the left hand side of the road, right? And for a supermarket, what is the critical success? One main critical success factor is the space, parking space, right? So that is identified by Heels. They identify two critical success factors for a supermarket, right? You go ahead with the theme. You need the outlet at the left hand side, and you need a large parking space, right? So what they did, they had outlets, high level road, Gold Road, right? 120 road, these main roads, right? Left hand side with large parking space, right? That was because at that time, Cargills had already established some of the main branches the other side and small parking space. So what then? After about positioning වල කතා කරනවා දැන්. ගෙදර යන ගමන් කියන එක හොඳ positioning, right? On the way back to home, right? You can pick the product. Cargills create that slogan, and Heels used it, implemented it, right? They create the opportunity, right? ගෙදර යන ගමන් parking space එක තියෙනවා. යන පැත්තේ මෙහෙම වාහනයක් දාන්න පුළුවන්, right? එතකොට හයිලෝ රෝඩ් එකේ බැලුවොත් ඔයාලට උතනින් හයිලෝ රෝඩ් එක ගත්තොත් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මුංගේකට පොඩ්ඩක් පහුවුනහම තියෙන ලොකු කීස් එකක්, ඊට පස්සේ මහරගමට කලින් තියෙන ලොකු කීස් එකක්, ඊට පස්සේ අපෝ පොඩ්ඩක් වික්ටෝරියා පැත්තේ තියෙන ඉගවට දැන් ඊට පස්සේ 120 රෝඩ් එක බැලුවොත් ඒකෙත් තියෙන, right? one road, right? So they established. So Cargills identified that late field. First time ඒගොල්ලෝ super branches පටන් ගන්න ගත්ත ලොකු space එකක් එක්ක, right? So the positioning, the what positioning is what you create in customers' minds, certain features that your action should support it, right? එහෙම නැත්නම් ඒක ගෙනියන්න බැරි, right? The strategic positioning analysis, right? Cargills එක position එකක් තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ අර cheapest product කියන, right? ඒගොල්ලෝ සෑහෙන promote කරානේ. මොකද ඇත්තටම එතන පොඩි segmental differentiation එකකුත් තිබුණා. Cargills මුලදී මුගක් focus කරේ they thought that people consider the cost. Yes, people consider the cost, right? මොකද ඒගොල්ලෝ ඒගොල්ලෝ අර මේ ඒගොල්ලෝ දුන්නානේ අර challenge එකක් මේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ තමයි lowest price කියන්නේ right but that was again a basket of product right but when you take the normal customers go to supermarket they are not very much considered about this basket work for Satoshi right සාමාන්‍ය low income people ගත්තොත් ඒගොල්ලෝ ඒකට work කරනවා නේ right basket එකක් දෙනවා අටු මිලට මෙච්චර product කිව්වහම ඒක okay හොඳයි සාමාන්‍ය individuals right අපි ගත්තොත් supermarket එකේ යන customer base එක ගත්තොත් ඒගොල්ලෝ ඒකට නෙමෙයි the other features and you have even some products other thing is the keels and car keys strategically the keels කරා සමහර මේ car keys කරා ඇත්තටම සමහර essential product low cost එකට දුන්නයි keys කරේ අර essential product නෙමෙයි price එක relatively වැඩි ඒ නිසා customers ලා ගන්නෙ නෑ හැබැයි ඒක අඩු කරපුවාම ඒවා essential උත් නෑ හැබැයි 30% discount දුන්නා මිනිස්සු ගන්න ඊළ බලන්න keys එකේ 30% discount තියෙන product වලින් ඒගොල්ලෝ දෙනවා සමහර වෙලාවට ඔය machine powder stripes or machine material soap toothpaste basic ඒවා දෙනවා right මොකද ගන්න දේවල් දෙනවා හැබැයි උගාක් දෙනවා compulsory නොවන right ඒ කියන්නේ ඒ original price එකට යන්නේ නැහැ හැබැයි discount වුණාම ගන්න right so that is a strategy right so these Cargill's again Cargill was the market leader right අවුරුදු අපිට හයකට කලින් ඔය කීස්ලා එන කලින් Cargill තමයි supermarket industry එකේ market leader they had branches all over the country still branch wise Cargill's having a large network he is relatively less number of branches but high number of sales so that is this positioning part some of the strategies they use right so when it comes to the strategy positioning analysis the factors affecting the strategic positioning organizational value culture and system ඒකම තමයි position කරන එක තියෙන්නේ right දැන් අපි value කරන්නේ quality එක නම් අපේ brand එක value කරන කෙනෙක් එතන අපි position කරන්නේ නැති වෙයි cheapest low quality ඒ කියන්නේ cheapest product widely available කියන එකට වඩා අපි that is the organization value culture and systems right right organization values affecting to the strategic position the organization cultures affecting to how you position then the external environment also affect an internal environment resources and our competencies you can't position ignoring external environment and internal environment. Internal environment කියන්නේ resources and competencies. Organization value culture and systems even though sometimes you may have resources but you may have capabilities but certain actions the organization refuses to take because that is not within your value system. ඒක ආයතනයේ value system එක ඇතුලේ ආයතනයේ culture එකට match වෙන්නේ නැත්නම් right then so you may not go for that තාක්ෂණික අපි කියමු දැන් සමහර product තියෙනවා ඒගොල්ලෝ branches open කරන්නේ right so ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ product එක position කරලා තියෙන්නේ අපිට high end customers ලා නම් ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ branches තියෙන එහෙම locations වල ඒගොල්ලෝ සමහර වෙලාවට rural area එක town එකකට යන්නේ නැහැ right ඒගොල්ලන්ට resources නැති ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෙමෙයි තියෙන්නේ right so that not with your positioning right your culture and system උදාහරණයක් hotel එක කියමු hotel එකේ branches ලංකාවේ හැමතැනම නැහැ දැන් no limit ලගේ branches ලංකාවේ හැමතැනම තියෙනවා. දැන් hotel ලා branches දාන්න නැත්නම් ඒගොල්ලන්ට branch දාන්න resources ප්‍රශ්නයක් නිසා. Competitions එක තියෙනවා හින්දා ඒගොල්ලන්ට ඒ තැන්වල meet කරන්න බැහැ. එහෙම නෙමෙයි. That is not fit with the organization culture, value and the system. Got the point? Right? That affect your position. Right? So the model position a different group of customer where the no limit position some other. Then the external environment, you can't ignore the positioning. External environmental factors, right? Coming from the we got both COVID impact, inflation, foreign exchange rate, right? Those things matters, right? Sometimes you have to change your positioning, right? Change your position. That might create even opportunities or sometimes even threats. Right? Then we have the next part is the cost drive analysis. Cost drive analysis. So, දැන් අපි කතා කරන්නේ strategic cost management වල 3 component එකක් තමයි strategic positioning analysis එක. Strategic management accounting වල අපි කිව්වනේ strategic cost management වල traditional cost management වල නැති අර external focus එක තියෙනවා හැබැයි cost එක consider කරනවා. You are not ignoring the cost. So you have to have a cost driver analysis, right? Cost driven by various factors that are interrelated. And it is not a simple function of volume or output as a traditional cost accounting system. Traditionally, number of unit වැඩි වෙනවා, cost එක වැඩි වෙනවා කියන එක ඒක traditional කතාව ගත්තට, right? There are so many factors that drive. So this cost driver analysis, we identify these cost drivers. Traditionally, continue fixed cost, variable cost, fixed cost remain constant over the output, variable cost change, right? So additional cost analysis. But in the cost drive analysis used in strategic cost management, we divide these cost drivers into 2 categories. One is structural cost driver, the other one organizational cost driver. Right? There are 2 categories. First one, structural cost driver. So the structural cost drivers are fundamental choice about size and scope of operation and technology employed in delivering product or service to customer. Structural cost driver. Size and scope of the operation, technology, right? Again, business structure එක අනුව cost වෙනස් වෙන factors, like structural cost drivers. එතනදී we ගත්තොත් size එක size of the stores වෙන්න පුළුවන්, location එක, type of construction, right? Kind of technology employees, right? මේ වගේ දේවල් මත structural cost drivers වෙනස් වෙනවා. factory එකක් ගත්තොත් ඒ factory එකේ පාවිච්චි කරන technology එක වෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? ඊළඟට ඒකේ තියෙන location එක, right? size එක මත සමහර cost වෙනස් වෙනවා. Structural level cost. The second one is the operational cost drivers. The organizational cost drivers are
A-level birth certificate එක original ඕන photocopies ඕන true copy කරපුවා මම එකක් ගන්න දෙන්නේ.
from this working from home. Right, some of your mic has unmute. Make sure that you mute those who are joining online. Mute yourself. Right. The organizational cost drivers are the choices concerning organization of activities and choices concerning involvement of person inside and outside the organization decision making. So, if you take more detail, now organizational cost drivers decide to work closely with limited number of suppliers, provide employees with cost information and authorizing them for the decision making, deciding, recognize existing equipment so that sequential operations continue. Then designing a component of a product so that only fit together when it designing the correct manner, designing manufacturing low volume product, low speed generate purpose equipment. Basically, සරලව අදහස ගන්න ඕනේ structural cost drivers කියන්නේ business එකේ structure එක අපි හදලා තියෙන location එක technology එක ඒ මත ඇති වෙන cost driver ඊළඟට executional cost drivers කියන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒක execute කරන්න යද්දී ඒක implement කරන්න යද්දී එන cost drivers ටික තමයි operational organizational cost drivers කියලා අපි කතා කරන්නේ. It's structural and execution. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි ආයතනයේ set කරන structure එතකොට දැන් අපි ගත්තොත් traditionally internal cost management වලදී අර structural cost driver එකට මුකුත් අත තියන්නේ නැහැ. Right? Within that given structure එක ඇතුළේ තමයි decision. But strategic cost management, when you identify sometimes issues with that structure, right? You have to revise. You take the feedback of your traditional cost management වල weakness වලක් තිබෙන්නේ. තියෙන සීමාව ඇතුලේ තමයි කටයුතු කරන්නේ. Strategic cost management එකේදී අපිට පුළුවන් අර structural cost drivers වෙනස් කරන්න, suggest කරන්න, ඒකට actions ගන්න. Right? Those aspects. Then the other aspect is the value chain analysis. Value chain analysis එකත් Michael Porterගේ concept එකක් තියෙනවා, right? The value chain. Value chain, there is a very broad concept again. Value chain, organizational value chain, industry value chain. Right? The organizational value chain. The value chain analysis is a process by which firm identify and analyze various activities that add value to the final product. The idea to identify those activities which do not add value to the final product or service and eliminate those non-value added activities. Then the analysis of value chain helps to obtain cost leadership or improve the product differentiation. The value chain එකේදී අපි අඳුරගන්නවා අපි ඉස්සරලාම අඳුරගන්නවා activities, right? Core activities, non-core activities. Core activities, value added, not value added. Non-core activities, value added, not value added. එතකොට අපිට පුළුවන් core value added activities you should strengthen, you should continue as it is. Non-core but value added, like you may outsource, right? Non-core value added to outsource. Then non-core non-value added, you can eliminate. Right? Core activity but non-value added from customer perspective, you have to reduce. Right? So, right, the idea of value chain also suggested by Michael Porter, 1985. So here you find that ordinal value chain analysis. The activities වර්ග දෙකකට බෙදනවා, primary activities and support activities. Primary activities, inbound logistic, operations, outbound logistic, marketing and sales, services. ඒවා තමයි business sector primary activities කියලා ගන්න. Inbound logistic, raw material handling and warehousing. Right? Where that is you are receiving raw material, manufacturing business focus කරලා තියෙන එක. You are receiving raw material to the business, you keep it in your stores. Right? So that part, inbound logistics. Operations means machining, assembling, testing the product. Like a manufacturing part, like a factory. Outbound logistics, warehousing and distribution of the finished product. Here the warehousing is the finished good. You have to have in the sales outlet or the stores, and you should distribute the product. Right? Outbound. Distribute current, sales current, demand create current. That is another core activity. Marketing and sales, advertising, sales promotion, pricing, channel relationship. Right? Take a sale create කිරීමට අදාළ part. Right? Creating the demand. And you need some services, after sales services like installation, repair, right? Providing the spare parts, those type of services. So that 5 areas of inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales service. Here you see that one by one. Inbound logistics are activities connected with receiving, storing and distributing the input raw material to the production process. Relationship with the supplier is key component of this process. So, material ලැබිලා මේක factory එකට යන තැන එනකම් ටික inbound logistics. Right? Material, the procurement part again. Right? Receiving the material, purchasing the material and storing this and issuing for the production. The operations, those activities transferring input to the final product, manufacturing part. Activities such as machining, packaging, testing, equipment, maintenance part, that is the operations, part of operation. Outbound logistics means activities of collecting, storing, distributing the product from the factory line to the customer. The order include finished goods, warehousing, delivery vehicle operation, order processing, scheduling. We can find business again finished good right? Sales making, delivery right? Marketing and sales means the customer and customers are made aware of the product, right? Awareness. Activities include advertising, promotion, distribution channels, sales force management, pricing, right? Demand creation. Outbound logistics and distribution. Demand එක ඇතිවට පස්සේ පාඩ සේල් කරාම මේක ඩිලිවර් කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒ පාර්ට් එක තමයි outbound logistics. Right? Outbound logistics වෙන්න නම් marketing and sales part එක තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Creating the demand. Right? Initially awareness, then position. Right? There are two steps. Mainly, you have to create the awareness of the product. Then you should be able to position the product. Creating mere awareness is not generating revenue, but it may be the initial step. Now, some companies fail there. They create the awareness. Everyone knows that there's a product like that, but you fail to position the product, so no one buys. සමහර අවස්ථාවල එහෙම වෙනවා. Awareness එක ඇති කරනවා. Right? Awareness එක ඇති කරාට position කරන්න බැහැ. People know that there is such a product. Right? But you fail to position. Position. අනිත් එක තමයි සමහර වෙලාවට marketing and sales okay, you create awareness, positioning, create the demand, but your operation and outbound logistics, if that is not in line with that, the customer wants the product but you don't have the product. සමහරවිට එහෙමත් වෙනවා. සමහර fail වෙච්ච product තියෙනවා. ලොකුට ඇඩ්වර්ටයිස් කරලා මාකට් කරනවා. ඊට පස්සේ කස්ටමර්ස් වල ගිහිල්ලා ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එක ඉල්ලනවා. හැබැයි ඒගොල්ලෝ ඩිස්ට්‍රිබියුෂන් නෙට්වර්ක් එක හොඳ නැහැ. ඒක ගිහිල්ලා අහපුවාම ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එක නැහැ අදාළ ෂොප් වල. right? So then after some time the demand will reduce. ඒකයි මේ primary activities කියන්නේ මේ activities ඔක්කොම වැදගත්. business value creation. Services, after sales services, right? The maintenance, installation, repair, right? The meeting the warranty, right? Keep the promise, right? After sales, it's also important. Then we have support activities, right? Support activities. Here you have the support activities. Firms, infrastructure, HR, technology, procurement. About firm infrastructure. Infrastructure එකට තමයි මේ පොට 1985 වල අඳුනගත්ත විදිහට general management, accounting, finance, planning, එනික ඔක්කොම මේකට supportive. right? Then මේක ටිකක් ඊට වඩා වෙනස්. right? then strategic planning වගේ එකක් දැන් උතන මේක overall. umbrella term එකකින් වගේ ඉන්නේ right now general management accounting finance වගේ ඒවා infrastructure තමයි කියන්නේ facilitate කරනවා firm එකකින් ඔය activities ටික කරගෙන යන්න ඒ perspective එකකින් planning කියන එකත් අපිට ගන්න පුළුවන් HR right you need a good HR system HR management recruiting training development people is a part supportive activity technology development research and development improvement right that is important supportive activity එතන මෙතන procurement එක inbound logistics වලින් අයින් කරලා තියෙනවා ඒ කියන්නේ බාහිර inbound logistics raw material ලැබෙන තැනින් right GRN එකේ එන තැනින් පටන් ගන්න procurement process එක supportive activity එකකට දාලා තියෙනවා purchasing part order එක place කරලා ඊට කලින් කියනවනේ you have to get some price quotation or you have to find the suppliers negotiate with the suppliers determine the price place the order and get the material purchasing raw material machines or other equipment everything Michael Porter inbound logistics එක පටන් ගන්න තියෙන්නේ material warehouse එකට එන තැන right එන තැන ඉඳලා ඒක store කරලා production එකට issue කරන එක. ඒක තමයි key part එකක් විදිහට අඳුනන. ඉතින් මේක now these are social sciences. These concepts can be challenged. Right? These are changing. Right? මේ වගේ improvements තියෙනවා. මේකට modifications තියෙනවා. මේක හරියට natural sciences වල දැන් Newton කියන නියමයන් වගේ එහෙම challenge කරන්න වෙනස් නොවන ඒවා natural sciences වල කාලයත් එක්ක අලුත් laws එනවා right social science changing significantly ඉතින් මේකට ඕන තරම් මේක modify කරපු structures අපිට කතා කරන්න පුළුවන් this is the basic structure right value chain but that gives you some kind of idea right so here you find the supportive activities. Procurement involves purchasing of raw material, suppliers and other consumables required as input for the primary activities. Purchase part එක ගලවලා අරන් තියනවා inbound logistics වලට මුලින්. ඒක supportive activity. Technological development include technical knowledge, equipment, hardware, software, and any knowledge that is used in the transformation of input to output. The factory එකේ වැඩ කරගෙන යන අවශ්‍ය කරන technological equipment, hardware, software is supported. HRM, you know that HRM basically, right? From the point of selection, recruitment, placement, training, appraisal, reward, promotion. So all the activities relating to human resources, right? This is supportive activity to the organization. And firm infrastructure consists of planning, finance, accounting, legal, government affairs, quality management, the co-activities related other parts, right? Here you have simple activity. Okay. So ABC is engaged in the business of manufacturing branded ready-made garments. It has a single manufacturing facility at Colombo. Raw material is supplied by various suppliers. Majority of revenue comes from the export to Eurozone and US. To strengthen position further in the global market, it is planning to enhance the quality and provide assurance through long-term warranty. For the coming years, company has set objective to reduce the quality cost in each primary activities in the value chain. State the primary activities as per the 5 courses as a Porter's value chain analysis with a brief description. And what activities sticker මේ ටිකම තමයි. Right? අපි මේක relate කරන්න ඕනේ. Right? මේකේ මොනවද inbound logistics. ඒක garment factory එකක් නේද fabric. Right? ඒක සම්බන්ධ කරලා ලියන්න ඕනේ. Operations කිව්වහම converting these fabric into finished garment items. Right? Outbound logistics. So to make a distribution, right? The global market that to make a distribute wherever Europe වලට සහ US වලට shipment කරන්න වෙනවා. ඊළඟට creating the demand, right? So මේගොල්ලන්ගේ දැන් කියනවා branded garment item. Branded ready-made garment. Yeah, people then the long-term warranty එකක් දෙනවා. Right? The warranty එක relate වෙන්නේ අර services part එකට. Like after sales. මේ වගේ එක එක main activity යටතේ අපි මොනවද කරන්න කියන එක තමයි අඳුර ගන්න තියෙන්නේ. Then the value chain analysis we can further discuss. Here you see that the value chain analysis, strategic framework for value chain analysis, and value chain approaches for assessing competitive advantage කියලා නැවත කොටස් දෙකකට බෙදලා තියෙනවා. Under the strategic framework for value chain analysis, industry structure analysis, core competency analysis, and segmentation analysis. 3 main parts. And internal cost analysis, internal differentiation analysis, the vertical linkage analysis. Right? That is value chain approaches for assessing competitive advantage. So the main thing තමයි අපි ඊළඟ කතා කරන්න යන්නේ strategic framework for value chain analysis and value chain approaches for assessing competitive advantage. Right. So strategic framework for value chain analysis. Under that, we are going to discuss industry structure analysis, core competency analysis, segmentation analysis, 3 areas. So that industry structure analysis, you can use this famous 5 process model, where that the different industries, how that competition is affected by different forces. Now in certain industries, threats of new entrants is very high. Certain industries, threats of new entrants is low. Now in Sri Lankan context, if you take some industries where threats of new entrants is low, industries, what are the industry threats of new entrants is low? Telecommunication, right? Now we have few major players. There's a very low risk that another player come to the market. Why? There are so many factors affecting to the new entrants. So basically, if you have so many entry barriers, threats of new entrants is low. So there are some regulatory barriers. You need the license, the capital. You need a huge amount of capital to come to the market, and the basically almost all the customers are now shared by the existing players, right? So that industry is not growing, right? Industry is now come to a matured level, right? Again, then Lanka network facility of නැති අය නැහැ. Mobile telecommunication network එක. අවුරුදු 20කට විතර කලින් industry එක grow වෙනවා. ඒතර අලුත් අයට එන්න පුළුවන්. ඇයි? Population එකේ there is a large certain portion that who are not using mobile phone. So you can promote it, right? So මේක ඇවිල්ලා එක mature level එකකට ආවා. COVID කාලේ වෙනකොට මේක mature කිව්වා, right? ඊට අවුරුදු කීපයකට කලින් ඉඳලා mature. සාමාන්‍ය 2010 වගේ වෙනකොට ලංකාවේ mobile network providers ලා පැත්තේ mature වෙලා ගියේ. grow උනේ internet part එක. data grow වෙන අලුත් opportunity එකක් ආවා COVID එකත් එක්ක. e-learning part එක. දැන් ඒකත් ආපහු mature level එකට පැහැදිලි ගිහින් තියෙනවා, right? මොකද සාමාන්‍ය e-learning කියන හැමෝම මොකක්ද e-learning package එක පාවිච්චි කරනවා, right? ඒකට අවශ්‍ය data වලට package එක පාවිච්චි කරනවා. So the entry barriers are high. If you take retail industry, retail entry barriers low. Retail කිව්වහම grocery, supermarket, everything, right? You need a place, building only, right? You can have a supermarket. Space එක තියෙනවා නම්, parking තියෙනවා නම්, right? You can have a supermarket. Any firm can come and operate. The threats of new entrants is high. Now that was experienced by some of these supermarkets which were well established in cities prior to this Cargill's and Keys expansion. Like there were some supermarkets, individual supermarkets, which having a huge customer base, right? Suddenly, a Keys or Cargill's food city opened a huge market share. They lost huge market share, right? Because new entrants is there. Then threats of substitute. Third product, substitutes are less, right? Industry capital value, industry substitute, industry level substitute there, right? But certain substitutes are available. So then the competition high there, right? Substitutes නැත්තම් the threats of substitute product services low. අපි ගත්තොත් නිකන් domestic gas, fuel, right? Then fuel vehicle වලට තිබුණ එකම substitute එක electric vehicle, right? ඒක ඔබ limited. threat එකක් නැහැ. දැන් government එකේ අමුතියකින් මේක promote කරනවා, right? එක පැත්තකින් fuel වලින් යන car sales ඒ vehicles base කරන අය අපිට import කරන අයට එනවා threat එකක්. අනිත් පැත්තේ fuel station, right? Sri Lanka as a country can be very effectively use these electric vehicles, right? Because we could have used it. Hallelujah. government took a decision to reduce the tax on electric vehicles. Right? අපි ලංකාවේ good policy එකකින් ඒක නිකන් ඒගොල්ලන් කවුරු හරි කාට හරි වාහන ටිකක් ගෙන ගන්න තිබ්බා ඊපස්සේ අයින් කරනවා. They promote it, right? That is a ideal vehicle. දැන් ඔය Nissan Leaf එක වගේ ගත්තොත් ලංකාවට ideal. Right? ලංකාව වගේ රටකට මොකද the maximum distance normal traveling, right? City area you can manage within less than 100 kilometers. ලංකාවේ බදාම යාපනයට යන්නේ නැහැ, right? ඔය සාමාන්‍ය travel කරන කෙනෙක්ට, right? So that is ideal. And we have the solar, right? දැන් Nissan Leaf එක හැදුවෙම ලංකාව වගේ රටවල් වල focus කරලා කියන්නේ ඉරේලිය තියෙන රටවල් වල ජපානයේ ඒගොල්ලෝ කරන්නේ. They have the Leaf with the solar garage, right? දැන් ලංකාවේ එක ප්‍රොමෝට් කරන්න තිබ්බ හරි ලේසි. ඒ solar garage එකට solar එක set කරලා, right? ඒක separate තිබ්බ system එකකින්, right? That won't cost that much compared with the fuel cost, right? Electric vehicle වල globally context එකේ ගත්තොත් electric renewable solar power may have a high cost than the oil, right? ඒක ඉතින් කතාවක් තියෙනවද නේද? solar හදාන්න titanium වගේ ඕනේ, ඒක drill කරලා ගන්න ඕනේ. ඒ සමස්තය global. But if you take as a country, right, we could have easily managed with very high usage of electric vehicles. එහෙම රටවල් තියෙනවා. පොඩි රටවල්. ඒගොල්ලෝ ඒක ප්‍රොමෝට් කරලා පුළුවන් තරම් ඉලෙක්ට්‍රික් වෙහිකල්ස් ප්‍රොමෝට් කරනවා. ඇත්තටම ඒක අපි 2015 වගේ ඉඳලා පටන් ගත්තා නම් අපිට ඔය fuel prices එක ලොකුවට එන්නේ නැහැ. Those are the things that so what we were discussing is substitute, right? So certain products, certain industries, substitutes are there. Certain industry less substitutes or threats of substitute less. That affects the competition. Bargaining power of the supplier. Bargaining power of the supplier. Suppliers, the input suppliers. Right? Industry input suppliers. Now, if you take the certain industries, we are relying on limited number of suppliers, industrial products. So the suppliers' bargaining power is very high in that case. Right? The රටක් විදිහට ගත්තොත් සමහර දේවල් තියෙනවා. දැන් අපි හිතමු නැත්නම් ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රි එකක් විදිහට ගත්තොත් අපිට we are manufacturing some product, you need a particular raw material, right? That raw material is supplied by only very few suppliers. So their bargaining power is high. That is why government should use some control mechanism, regulations, right? That will be what regulations දාන්න ඒකයි. නැත්නම් regulations දාන්න නැත්නම් control එකක් නැත්නම්, right? මේ parties වලට පුළුවන් ඒගොල්ලන්ට industrial supply කරද්දී ලොකු power එකක්, right? So that will affect to the competition. Customers' bargaining power, buyers' bargaining power. Buyers' bargaining power also high when the company rely on few customers. Right? When you are relying on few customers, their bargaining power is high. Because if you lose them, even firms can lose. Right? That's what happened to our garment industry. Right? We had a lot of medium, small scale garments. They supplied their garment items for limited number of customers based in Europe, US, right? Those countries. In the COVID-19, right? So when the country was closed down, so these operations were affected. These firms were unable to meet the demand. So they shift to some other countries. ඒක ඇත්තටම main advantage එක ගත්තේ Bangladesh. Bangladesh, because this high populated country, so even in very high COVID period, the government had to decide whether they stop the productions and ask the people to stay home. If the people stay home, they will die by poverty, by hunger. They don't have food, they don't work. So the Bangladesh government decide, okay, we accept the people dying by COVID by working. So they promote it, work with all safety conditions. So they continue. In our country, we say that all the people stay at home and government pay 5,000 rupees. Our people will use that, right? Most of the others companies paid, right? The salaries, right? The lowest players, they manage with that government subsidy, right? So we stop the production. So that is one main situation, one main reason why we give so much because of this crisis, right? Economic crisis. එම ඉන්දියාවලත් මේ ප්‍රොඩක්ෂන් අතර කරේ නැහැ. ඉන්දියාවේ කොවිඩ් කන්ට්‍රෝල් කරන්න බැරි ලෙවල් එකකට. Reason is we as a country were so panicked with the disaster. Right? ඒතරම් ලංකාව රටම වැහුවනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ අනුරාධපුරේත් වහනවා, right? පොළොන්නරුවත් වහනවා, මොනරාගලත් වහනවා, යාපනයේත් වහනවා. සමහර වෙලාවට මේ patient ලා දෙන්නයි තුන්දෙනයි හම්බෙලා. Society එකක් විදිහට අපි අය තිබ්බ ප්‍රශ්නයක්. ඒකට ගවර්න්මන්ට් එක බ්ලේම් කරන්න නැත්නම් ඒක වැහුවේ නැත්නම් නිම ඒ වෙලාවේ ගවර්න්මන්ට් එක වෙනවා. ඒකට ගවර්න්මන්ට් politicians, right, they take the decisions what is requested by the people. So there was a huge demand. Government එක පොඩ්ඩක් delay කරනකොට ලොකු pressure එකක් ආව අනිත් පැත්තේ. Like why you are not closing, right? Why you are not closing the airport at that time, right? Then පේනවනේ අපිට ඊපස්සේ dollars වල තියෙන issues, right? We were not managed. One thing is we did not have good management team, right? Again, politicians la hota managers la right? They were not good managers, right? ඒගොල්ලෝ හොඳ managers ලා වුණා නම් ඒගොල්ලන්ට පුළුවන් වෙනවා ඒ වෙලාවේ ඒ right decisions ගන්න. Even that not very popular, right? When that happened, so that the most of the industries, when we are exporting the products, rely on few suppliers, right? If we lose that suppliers, that means they are the customers, few customers, the customers' bargaining power is very high. So there will be a huge adverse impact. So industry structure, you can analyze. It is the main tool we can use, right? The second one, core competency. What are the core competencies of the business? Right? Core competency analysis. Core competency distinctive or unique skill or technological skills that create distinctive customer value. Right? Core competency. අපි අර කිව්වේ competitive advantages එන්නේ හැම වෙලාවට core competency. Right? Firm should have a kind of core competencies that gives you competitive advantage. So that distinctive unique skills, technological know-how that create distinctive customer value. Right? Core competency of the Google is the capability of deliver external search, result search, which could not be imitated by other competitors. Right? ඒක කොච්චරද කිව්වොත් දැන් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් basically Google කියන එක නිකන් අපි search කරන්න යන්නේම Google. අපි ඉස්සර Yahoo තිබුණා, right? තව අනිත් ඒවටත් ගියා, right? එතන දැන් අපි බැලුවොත් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මොනවා හරි search engine එකක් කිව්වොත් Google නේ. right? ඒ මට්ටමට ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ core competency එක ඇති වෙලා. right? So that core competencies are functions of collective skills of the people, organization structure, resource, technological know-how, all that matter. So core competency is a primary source of an organization's competitive advantage. So competitive advantage results from cost leadership or product differentiation. And cost leadership එකට යන්නේ core competency එකක් base කරලා. You have a patent right, right, of a new technology, so you can reduce the cost. Or you have a patent or you have a technology, for the product differentiation. You can remember a number of years back, LG refrigerators advertised, right? Normally, cooling system of a refrigerator coming from the inside, right? So they introduced the door cooling system. They advertise it, right? They got the patent, so only LG can produce that kind of refrigerator for 20 years. That gives them differentiate their product compared to advantage, because it is protected by the patent. So when it is protected by the patent, it becomes core competence, because it cannot be followed by the others. Some of the technological improvement may be followed, right? Others also can use. And even the hybrid system, right? Toyota hybrid is mainly, but the Toyota paid for their hybrid, right? But you find hybrid now, the Honda, Mazda, right? BMW, even hybrid, right? So you find the other brands also. Why is that? A hybrid system, these different brands are having different hybrid systems, not the same technology. Right? Not the same technology. Taken how much Toyota Prius එකේ fuel efficiency එකට කිට්ටු වෙන්න බෑ අනිත් ඒ වගේ hybrid system, right? සමහර යාළුවෝ ඉන්න Prius පාවිච්චි කරපු අය එයාට වෙන වාහනයක් පාවිච්චි කරන්න හිතෙන්නේ නැහැ, මොකද මේ fuel efficiency එකට පුරුදු වෙලා. අපිට ලීටර් කිලෝමීටර් 10ක් යනවා කියන එක usual, right? මොකද අපි පුරුදු වෙලා තියෙනවා. අපි use වෙනවනේ කෙනෙක්. හැබැයි ලීටර් කිලෝමීටර් 30ක් විතර ගිහින් එක්ක, right? That is really unusual, right? That is the hybrid system, right? Honda වල hybrid system different, right? එතකොට Mazda වල තියෙන hybrid එක වෙනස්. So the Toyota hybrid gives their core competency, but the others also can come up with some different system, right? So ඒකේන ලොකු competitive advantage එකට යන්න බෑ, right? Because the technological improvement you can't stop with patent sometimes. Because you can have a patent for one particular type of technology with a small modification, it can come to the market. Right? We got the Coke, right? For a sense, the formula is a secret, right? The formula is a secret formula. ඒක වෙන කාටවත් නැහැ. ඒක යාල කෝක් අපේ. හැබැයි ලෝකේ පුරාම කෝක් වලට සමාන වෙන දේවල් එනවා, right? ඒක කොපි වෙනවනේ. ඒක කාලයක් ඒගොල්ලෝ තිබුණා. Luckily that it was so unique, the others were unable to come up immediately, right? So Coke were able to create the brand and the position, right? Coca-Cola is known as the most known brand in the world. Mostly known 2 words, Coca-Cola, right? So it is known by the countries, people in African region sometimes, right? They don't have even food, right? They don't have basic facilities, but Coca-Cola is known to them, right? So that is how we went through all these values. So that made it core competency, right? That awareness, right? So that gives them our competitive advantage. Then there are 3 tests useful to identify core competency. Core competency එකක් දෙනවද කියන එක අඳුර ගන්න අපිට ටෙස්ට් 3ක් කරන්න පුළුවන්. End product benefit, right? If this competency gives some end product benefit, හරි අවසාන product එකට benefit එකක් තියෙනවා, right? And access to wide variety of the market. මේ benefit එක ලොකු market එකකට wide variety market එකට access තියෙනවා. right? කොහොම කලාතුරකින් අවශ්‍ය වෙන benefit එකක් නම් ඒක එච්චර වැදගත්. හරි. let's say some of the differentiation features sometimes automobile industry සමහර vehicles වල features තියෙනවා ඒක කවුරුත් value කරන්නේ නැහැ. right? ඒ feature එක වැදගත් නැහැ. right? rare and difficult to competitors in ඔය points තුනට දාලා බලපුවාම ඔය තුනම field වෙනවා. right? that means it is a core competence. core competence එකක් එන්න නම් end product benefit එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ customer. ඊළඟට ඒකෙන් market එකට access තියෙන්න ඕනේ benefit එක. right? difficult to competitor to imitate. right? end product benefit නැද ලංකාවේ තමයි innovation තියෙන්නේ. end product benefit එකක් එන්නේ නැහැ. When out the garden the pali, that vehicle like another wholesale. The color is the car, you can petrol liter, right? Wholesale both the left, it's about 2 C. Wholesale both the liter, right? Liter 2 C. It's about a end product benefit. Real core competency का कोई नहीं. Right. So loss of core competencies would be a disaster for a phone. The Nokia was the leader in the feature phone segment. Smartphone was introduced before the smartphone. Change in dynamic industry means that Nokia lost the top position in the mobile phone industry. Right? Then mobile phone, apu mulma kale gatto the world number 1 and 2 Nokia and Motorola. Right? Then they come දැහැහෙන පහළදී. Right? Because of one bad decision, they postponed the introduction of the smartphone. right? ඒක කියනවා ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ board level එකේ decision එකක් ආවා මේ Android system එකට මේ technology එක අරගෙන smartphone කියන එක ඒගොල්ලෝ ඒක postpone කරනවා ඒ discussion. ඒ අතරේ Samsung introduced කරනවා. right? Samsung was a Korean company, right? Nokia Hungarian company, right? ඒක country එකට බලපාන mother company Hungarian, right? They had Motorola Philippines, right? I say, Nokia 3300, economic local idea phone, right? Basic phone, right? That much popular, that much of sale, right? So, but they fail with the smartphones. They had to sell their smartphone segment to Microsoft. Right? They can lease the right? Right? Now they have the Nokia sales, right? And Nokia phone is good, right? With all these features and all, but Samsung is widely distributed all over the world. Apple, right? With more differentiated features. So the Chinese manufacturers came up with some cost leadership strategies, right? So Nokia stuck within those competition. So that it is important for continuously evolve their core competencies, right? For the core competency, evolve karakan. You may lose core competencies sometimes, right? The organization may lose the core competency if you don't evolve it. Then the other one, the segmentation. We have to analyze the segmentation. The single industry might be collection of different market segments. The motor vehicle industry, for an example, automobile industry, can be seen as the composite of tires, glass, battery, metal, etc. Not all firms in industry participate all segments. So the structural characteristics of different industry segments need to be examined. So there's some business, right? The product jump parts ප්‍රමාණය තමයි තමන් හදාන්නේ, right? අනිත් ඒවා fitting කරනවා. When you take to the Sri Lankan garment industry, right? What basically we do, we just convert material into the finished goods using the labor, right? ඒකයි අපේ value creation එක අඩුයි අපේ, right? ඒකයි අපිට garment ගොඩ තිබුණාට අපිට රටක් විදියට ඒකේ ලොකු net foreign income එකක් එන්නේ නැත්තේ, because we import all the materials, right? We import all the materials and we use the labor and manufacture it and export. Right? So, our very then Bangladesh වල ඔක තියෙනවා. Bangladesh වල material හදනවා. Right? So ලංකාවට import කරන materials ගත්තොත් මොකක් වෙලාවටත් ගත්තොත් linen මෙහෙම Bangladesh වල. Right? ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ කියන එක range, right? Bangladesh හදනවා, India හදනවා, Pakistan හදනවා. Right? But we don't have that, right? Capabilities and the resources. So එහෙම firm එකක් ගත්තොත් you may have your own firm generating the raw materials. But ඒකේ valuation එක different. So analysts will reveal that the comparative advantage or disadvantage in the different segments. Firm may use this information to decide to exit the segment, enter to a segment. The සමහර වෙලාවට market segments වලට අපි දැන් මේ කතා කරන්නේ value chain එක ඇතුලේ, right? Segmentation, we can discuss the different product range. මේ අපි කතා කරන්නේ value chain එක ඇතුලේ segment. ඒ කියන්නේ industry value chain එක. Right? If you take simple example, then Candos, right? Lanka chocolate manufacturing පටන් ගත්තාම, right? The main input එක cocoa one. The cocoa import කර. To ensure the quality cocoa, මොකද කරේ උපාලි group එක ඒගොල්ලෝ Malaysian වල cocoa stakes ගත්තා. Right? Backward integration, input acquired. Today manufacturing එක segment එකක්. Cocoa stakes තව segment. Right? So that gives them comparative advantage that they ensure high quality material input comes, right? ඒකයි එක කාලයක් Candos කියන්නේ world very high top brand, right? Yeah. අර ඒ කාලේ කියනවා දැන් ලෝකේ හොඳම chocolates වර්ග කීපයකින් ගේන්න කිව්වහම ඒ chocolates 10ක් ගත්තොත් ඒකේ 4ක් 5ක් තියෙන Candos, right? world wide ගියාම එහෙම තත්ත්වයක් තිබ්බා, right? Unfortunately we lost that entrepreneur, right? Still relatively they manage some quality above the other product, right? ඒකයි තවමත් අපි අර locally ගත්තොත් අනිත් products වලට වඩා ඒගොල්ලෝ maintain කරන අර පරණ fact ඒ තියෙන්නේ ඒ manufacturing plants තියෙනවා සමහර ඒ වගේ ඒකේ කියනවා tacit production process එක, right? That happens sometimes. උදාහරණයකට ඔය Highland ice cream ගත්තාම දැන් Highland ice cream කිසිම advertisement එකක් නැහැ. කිසිම sales promotion එකක් නැහැ. right? හැබැයි Highland ice cream ඒගොල්ලෝ produce කරන ප්‍රමාණය ඉවර වෙනවා. බොහොම ඉක්මනින්. මොකද ඒකේ දැන් vanilla ice cream එක ගත්තොත් ඒකේ taste එක වැඩි ඇත්තටම මේ taste subject හැබැයි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ගත්තාම elephant house හරි කාගිස් හරි ඊට වඩා ඒ කියන්නේ ඒගොල්ලෝ milk වලින් කරන ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ mix එක වැඩි. දැන් අතන කාගිස් සෑහෙන try කරා මේ Highland එක ගන්න. right? කාගිස කියන්නේ ඒ quality එකට ඒගොල්ලන්ට දෙන්න බැරි නිසා ඒගොල්ලන්ට ice cream market එකේ දැන් compete කරන්න ඕනේ elephant house එක්ක. ඒගොල්ලන් පළවෙනි strategy එක තමයි take over the Highland. ඒක fail වුණාට පස්සේ තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ කොත්මලේ ගත්තේ. right? කොත්මලේ අරගෙන market එකේ යම් දැන්ටත් කාගිල්ස්ගේ තියෙනවා කාගිල්ස් අර original balls acquire කරපු magic brand එක වෙනම යනවා. Kotmale also subsidiary of Galle. Right? ඒක වෙනම separate. But they can cassette, right? Cassette production process එකකින් ආපු එක. ඒක තමයි canvas එකක්. Right? තාම මේ quality එක තියන්නේ. So that in segmentation analysis, sometimes you can identify some segments in the value chain may not be important, right? අපි මාකරි එක අපි දමු input එකට අපි දරන effort එකට වඩා අපිට පුළුවන් නම් supplier කෙනෙක්ගෙන් ඒක purchase කරන්න with long term agreement. They are expertise on that, so that might be good, right? There are businesses, so they give up that particular segment in the value chain. මේ කතා කරන්නේ segment එක ඇතුලේ value chain. නැත්නම් end customer ට දෙනවද අපි? bulk sale යනවද? retail වලට යනවද? end customer ට යනවද? right? ඒ වගේ aspects. Right. These two final few slides. Now in what I suppose prior to that, before we wind up, I want to discuss a bit about your assignment. Right? Now you have two assignments. One is the individual report. Other one is the group report. Right? So your course outline, the syllabus content. As I told you, we have relatively large scope, right? So what I said, මෙතන සමහර topics තියෙනවා අපිට එක session එකකින් cover කරන්න බෑ, right? So I will take some of these topics linked with the your assignment, right? But right. We have this topic number 8, optimize with multiple limiting factors. Linear programming, right? Profit maximization, art taker. You can say. Now you have already formed the groups, right? අලුතෙන් අය ඉන්නවද සෙෂන් එකේ අර සෙමිස්ටර් සෙෂන් ෆස්ට් සෙෂන් එකේ ඒ කියන්නේ FR වල හිටපු නැති අය ඉන්නවද කවුරු හරි මේ සබ්ජෙක්ට් එක extension නිසා even those who are joining online, anyone who was not followed the FR, so එහෙමනම් මට අර FR group ටික තියෙනවනේ අරලා right ඒ group ටික එහෙම use කරන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙනම් මම ඔයගොල්ලෝ topics ටිකක් allocate කරනවා මේ සතියේ. Right? සමහර වෙලාවට එකම topic එකේ group දෙකකට තුනකට එන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද report එකක් නේ. ඒක සමහර practical examples දාලා වෙනස් the calculations දාලා report එක හදන්න. Right? එකකින් group එකට එකක් දෙනවට වඩා මොකද එහෙම දුන්නොත් කොහොම minor පොඩි area එකක් දෙන්න. මට broad topics වලින් යනවා. Right? ඒ වගේ මම කීපයක් allocate කරනවා. අපේ groups කීයද හිටියේ? ඉතින් groups සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අයක්වත් 6 groups, right? Total students are here 30 below 40 might be, right? Below 40. If our papers are relatively right? Right. It's about right? Okay. So I will allocate topics, right? The group assignment again topics ki mama isati dana LMS එකට. ඒ topic එක යටතේ ඔයාලා බලන්න ඉතර වෙලා read කරලා material අරගෙන, right? ඊළඟ සතියේ මම brief කරන්න since this is 10 11 weeks නේ අපිට තියෙන්නේ, right? එතකොට දැන් මේ දෙවෙනි සතියේ this week එකට වගේ report එක මම set කරනවා group report එක. right? ඒ අතරේ මම individual report එකක් දෙනවා. individual report එක තුන අපිට අපේ 8 වලට වගේ set කරන්න පුළුවන්. right? ඉතරලා අපි group report එකට යමු. right? So we'll give the details. Right? So with that, I will do the lunch break. Right? 1 o'clock එදී තියෙනවා time එකක් යනවා. Right? So I will give the lunch break.